And we're live. Hello, everybody. How you all doing? Today, we have another special guest. They just keep coming. It's Joz, the not winner, the runner-up at the Arcadian.
First in Queensland, thank you.
First in Queensland.
First in Queensland.
That's the most important part.
Yeah, that's the only thing that I remember about Saturday.
The
honestly.
pride win. So your first
I
in
don't remember
Queensland.
what happened in Grands.
You reset. I mean, that's pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah.
Just pretty good.
Why don't you remember any of it?
Not great.
Was it all a blur?
No, I remember all of it. In fact, I've watched.
You've already watched them back?
I've watched them back twice.
Jesus, that's quick.
Of my Grands,
okay.
I just watched Cooper's. Me and Cooper sat while I was eating.
Oh yeah. How was that? Grim, or did you realize?
Less grim than I remembered. I felt it being more grim than it was. It was a 3-0, and he two-stocked me in the last two games. But, yeah, I didn't look like an idiot, at least.
Okay.
So that's good. I felt like an idiot afterwards.
You were like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Did you think he was going to win after you lost to him? Like he's going to win the whole thing?
Yes, I definitely did.
And then he DQ'd like a weenie.
Yeah, he just left.
I heard he had to leave from very early on, though. As soon as I got out of pools, I heard that he would have to go eventually.
Yeah, so they said that he said to someone that if it got to top 8, then he was going to have to DQ. And then I got to win a semis with him, and I was like, oh, I wonder if he'll DQ or not. And then they sped the bracket up just so that he could beat me. And I'm like, damn it.
Christ, I was so close. You were playing pretty smart with my recovery. Thanks, PT.
Yeah, cheers, PT. But, however, I gave up stage versus you a lot because I overcommitted to the counters, I realized. So once I'd done it once or twice and made you fear it, and then you were starting to, you did like double jump and held up air, and then you up bead to delay yourself. You did both those things, which was really smart, and I should have waited more and really picked my times to do the counter. So, yeah, and I think you adapted pretty well to that.
I haven't seen your sets. I've been a little busy. Saturday, as soon as I got knocked out, I watched my brother's set. He lost to the same person I did, which really pissed me off.
Who's that?
Korg. Yeah. Shut up. Shut up. Cloud's busted. Okay. He's a Cloud. Ben said he was out of state, but I'm yet to confirm that.
I've heard there was a Cloud who beat Millis as well, so it's probably the same guy.
Oh, Iro beat Mills too.
Yeah, Iro has a really good record versus Millis.
I feel awful because he had a lot of pressure on himself to do well. He was saying he was going to do well, which is a lot of like the Arcadian, the way it panned out. Wasn't it like one person got close and they still had 4 wrong in the top 8 of the predictions?
Yeah. So
big upsets all around, huh?
I haven't seen the winner of that. Do you know who it was?
No, I have no idea.
Yeah.
Maybe Ben will log in and let us know.
Ari toiled over a spreadsheet for like 3 hours.
Yep.
Oh, it was Luggy that beat Millis, actually. So,
okay.
Yeah, Luggy and Cord.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Ari toiled over a spreadsheet for like 3 hours that just automatically calculated it all. And Ben still hasn't released the winner. So I guess he had to enter all the data manually and stuff. So, no, that's fair.
Maybe there was a tie. Who knows?
That's true.
But, yeah, a lot of people got the winner has been determined.
Ooh, exciting.
Okay. Ben Gold's going to have to wait for me to invite him onto the next podcast just so he can reveal it.
Yeah. Ben Gold 3.
Yeah. But I want to triple check I correctly inputted everyone's guesses.
Oh, that's good nice of you.
Is it too late to put in my guesses now? I was thinking about putting them in and seeing what happens.
Aiden, I think, I don't know if it was Aiden, but I'm pretty sure it was, that you literally just put in the top 12 like in exact orders and was like, oh, sorry for being a bit late. Here's my top 12 prediction. It's just like, oh, shut up.
How did you know? Yeah. But no, I think a lot of people would not expect what happened, and it was a surprise for a lot of people. But I think that was when I thought about it, when I thought about how many mid-levels were like, oh, I hope I do really well, but then crumbled under the pressure, or people who were like, expected to do well, but didn't end up doing that well.
Yeah.
It comes down to me as like, that is the symptom of what's holding them back, a lot of these really good mid-level players, is that they have to get used to the pressure of constantly like striving to reach the top. Because it's not all about like how good you play. It's also about like how you control your mind,
For
you're
sure.
up there.
And that has been my biggest problem forever.
Yeah.
And only really recently, funnily enough, within the last month, of which I've been doing quite well, I've been taking a bit of anti-anxiety medication, and it's been doing wonders.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. A lot less
Seymour
pressure.
Butts was a lot like that as well. Liam, when he was on top, he would say that like he'd always play really well when he's had his medication because he took antidepressants. I can't even say that. But he was open about it. I feel like I can say that.
Yeah.
He's
For
always,
anyone who's friends on Facebook with him.
yeah, he's very, about fighting the good fight against the black dog. But he'd say it really helped him out, which is pretty sick. I think that a lot of people, they overcome that sort of struggles of their own and they get there. But that's been your secret then. I was going to say like, is it like the Ari thing that you could drink tea beforehand?
So that does help as well. There's so many little things that contribute. I think it's also, the amount of time that I've been in the scene now.
Yeah.
I'm getting
used to it.
Used to being on stream and stuff like that as well. But yeah, no.
Used to being in that like top 8 situation.
That's been my X factor, I guess. Like the thing that just tipped it over the edge so that I could play well in these tense situations.
These drugs.
Yeah. Pretty much. However, yeah, like reducing other drugs as well helps.
Which is,
it's all a balance.
So you've been reducing other drugs?
Yeah, so as some people, fair few people in the scene would know, like I like to smoke weed occasionally.
I mean, it's a big part of the Smash culture in a lot of different areas. I mean, it's not a huge part in Australia, but especially in places like, California and whatnot, you can tell by like when you watch like the Melee players streams and stuff in NorCal or SoCal, like it's a big part of, associate things with Smash.
Yeah, yeah. And so, I've really tried to limit down on that. I think that mechanically you can play completely fine, but it really takes away your ability to take something from a set, like or your adaptation skills are less, but it keeps you calm and you're able to like mechanically perform really well when you're high. But
I think thinking creatively as well, where you can sort of like create up your own.
You can break through to like a new thing while you're smoking, but it's when you're in a pressure situation, like it's really hard to have that creativity actually come through.
Yeah, it's rough. And it like you said, it's hard to take things away. Like I remember like back in my early university years, I'd be able to like think up some really crazy stuff for Lucas and setups, and I'd be like trying to keep mental notes, and then the next day I'd be like, "Fuck, what was that?
Yeah.
What was that I had? Where did it go?" Yeah.
No, but even like you'll finish a game, and it's the person you're playing with will turn to you and be like, "So when I like backhead your shield and you upbeat, like what was that meant to be?" And you're like, you're like, did that ever happen?
Could you say that one again, please? Yeah. No, that's just me all the time, though. Some people are like that. Notoriously, Kuragana Hammer, I remember you'd play set against him, and you'd be like, "Hey, so," and he'd be like, "I don't remember anything from the set. That's not how I play." Like, he plays purely by feel. He has no, like, doesn't keep backlogs of, like, what happened. He wouldn't be able to tell you. But he understands, like, all the details of the game.
Yeah.
And his other memory banks.
Whereas, like, it was very sober and on the point when I was versing PT the other day.
Yep.
And I came out of my set and someone was like, "Oh, you weren't necessarily punishing side B that well." And I'm like, let me tell you about side B because I learned a lot in that set. Because he could side B my shield and then like he could back air immediately afterwards, which beat my back air out of shield. And then, or he could like, there were so many little different mix-ups that we were doing in that exact scenario.
And you were like remembering them all.
Yeah, I remembered all of them and was slowly picking up on what he was doing afterwards. But he just kept mixing it up. He did like 3 or 4 different things. He even nared once afterwards and hit me for it. And I was just like, oh.
Fuck, like, how do you think out of that situation?
Yeah,
it's
in like
what's the? Yeah.
I get 3 games against Bayo in all of Smash Ultimate, and that was my third. Those were them.
And the online Bayos do not count.
No, I don't get to. I always verse. Who's the one from like Western Australia? I think there's a Bayo over there.
Not sure.
BJ Scooey or something.
Okay. I didn't know he played Bayo.
I can, if I'm close enough, I'll be at a shield and the way he's crossed up. Yes. And I tried doing that once, and he dodged it.
So he knew it was coming, or he was
Oh,
just
well,
anticipating some sort of
I guess he
retaliation.
just crossed me up too far, is what happened. He did it from a closer distance.
But yeah, those sort of things, keeping track of them, I think, is a symptom of what somebody wrote in a article early on at the start of Smash 4. It was when like they were having a lot more majors. They started to build up like interstate travel. And this guy was performing well. I can't remember his tag for the life of me. But he talked about the difference between being in the panic zone and being in like the dead zone, which is like a feeling of like loss and like you can't really concentrate because your heart's not fully into it. And me and Chadra are actually talking about this. He's in the chat now. That there's this like golden Goldilocks zone of focus where it's like you can just... You're in between your panic and calm zones where you're like hyperactive, hyping actively, but you're not panicking and you're not stressed. And you can like those situations, remembering those side B, I think is a symptom of that where you're like, okay, how do I deal with this? And you're like putting together all the pieces in your head while you do it.
And apparently I didn't put enough pieces together because he's just calling me out in chat.
Yeah.
So explain it to us, PT. Explain it.
He's just going to be like, side B's not safe. Would be too far away most of the time. I like to duck and then up tilt.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if that's part of the sadness or not.
No, I'm not.
I don't know. Anyway.
But I didn't even know he was going to play Bayo. He spread false rumors with the Kenny podcast saying that he was going to play Richter and Corrin. But no, he was 100% playing Bayo and he showed everybody up. He did really well.
Yeah, definitely. I think he would have won.
I think the key is you're going to look at Chadra and you're going to look at what you were talking about and be like, okay, well, that's what I need to strive for. I need to be in between the panic zone and the rest zone or the calm zone. I don't think that's necessarily true for everybody.
Yeah.
I think some people need to find what unlocks like their best level of play. When I play really well, I play angry, not at the opponent, but at the character. I remember the only times that I've done really well against Con, against Interstaters, like my biggest moments. Against Con, against he's changed his tag, Jovac.
Oh, Duan.
Yeah. Every time they would do something to me that wasn't safe, I got pissed off that they disrespected me. And so every time now I try and think about that when someone does something that, is punishable, I get quite angry at them for doing it. But that's it. That's where my highest level comes from.
That's interesting.
And I think other people need to explore that. Like, I can't remember who it was. They've left as far as I know. But they played the best when they were having fun with the game. And they deliberately didn't take it seriously so that they could do that.
Ooh, see... Yeah, I definitely try and strike a balance with that. I try and I just have fun playing Smash. Like I'm not your typical hater. Like
No.
I enjoy playing Smash. Like just it's why I can play a character like Lucina. Everyone's like, she's so boring. I'm just like, no, I'm having so much fun.
I love Smash.
Yeah, I just love Smash.
So you say Lucina's lame, and you just go, I love Smash.
Yeah. It's just like playing the game, so I don't care which character I'm playing. But yeah, so when it comes to that kind of thing, I never really get angry at characters. I don't think even when I'm like just getting bopped by Chris running away, shooting lemons, and like I'm just like, how do you get in? How do you punish Leaf Shield?
Yep.
Like, what the heck is happening? I'm just like, oh, this is a puzzle. Like, I get to be a problem solver right now. Like if he's doing this, then like. Possibly what can I do out of that? And then you realize after you do the thing that Chris has already figured the next step of the puzzle out, and you're like, damn it, like I have so much to catch up on.
With Chris, it's not a puzzle, it's like a labyrinth of just like constantly moving corridors.
He's like, oh, you thought you could jump out of Leaf Shield and punish me? Well, I can just jump and throw it and hit your full hop for that. And it's just like, god damn.
Yeah, he's infamously, one of my favorite quotes is he plays the opponent like a Mega Man boss.
Yes. Yeah, I know.
So he just figures out things and like I think he's got like a series of patterns that he likes to test out and throw at you and see if you adapt to that, and then over and over and over again he switches them up.
Yeah.
I think Hope told me that he was that kind of player. Those words were to not care. when someone does. Yeah, that's another thing. I think Ari said that like when he gets into the top 8 situations, he plays the word he came up with was furious, but it's not quite the word that he was looking for.
Okay.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of different flavors, but you just got to find out what's best for you.
Yeah.
I personally understand like the Zen zone where you're like super focused and you are solving the opponent without like any emotion.
Yeah.
I've been there, but for me, I think I'm just a little too dumb. Where I'm in that situation and things are moving too slowly. Well, I'm like, oh, that's really interesting that he did that. I lost my stock. Okay, well, I really got to keep things up here. Yeah.
Yeah, no, but you'll see me like in all kinds of situations, like when Cooper just walloped me and I was like kind of shook. I'm still smiling, being like, man, that was a really good set. Like you played really well, because I really enjoyed it, and I enjoy getting beaten like that because it shows me like my weaknesses and like it presents another puzzle for me to solve.
Yeah, that was one of the things when people were cheering against you for like the hype sets. Let's be real. There's nothing wrong with people cheering against you because it was so hyped that people were getting crazy about it.
I had no problem. I was seed number 1, baby.
But I was like, how can people cheer against Joz? He's like the most like nice player in this top 8 that I can imagine. Like he would never hate anything, and I don't know.
Hey, well, like you look at Fly, you look at Squidfist,
exactly.
the people I was versing, and they're easy, just as nice. Like,
they're underdogs and they're great guys as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had no problem with that.
That's it. You can't be mad at people.
I think the hardest that I felt the pressure was when I was against Lush, because there was a lot more on the line for my pride's sake.
Yep.
Because I'd never made it out of pools at a major.
Oh.
And so, like the Arcadian is a different beast, and I was seed number 1.
It's totally.
But it was 170 people.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
It had pools, and so
bracket pools.
Yeah, and so I knew I was making it out as soon as I got to winners finals of it. But like, I wanted to make it out winners side, and I needed to.
Yeah.
And I knew that Lush was kind of like someone
underratedly sick.
I knew how good he was going into that, so I took him very seriously, and I honestly maybe gave him too much credit in that set, and I played a little bit too scared.
Right.
And I tried to play his game a little bit. He's insane at tech.
Yeah.
He's a lab monster.
Yeah, he is. Just watching him, you can see
Yeah,
that.
And so it made me feel like, oh, well, I need to be like that. And you could just see me like just
trying to do
doing
your
random
own stuff.
things. And
yeah.
it just wasn't working out. But at the end of I think by the time it hit like game 3, I started realizing like, oh, he's doing all this stuff, but none of it's hitting me.
Yep.
He's got what I call the Python factor. And I hope Python hears this at some point, but Python is too sick for his own good.
Okay.
Like he has all of these techs like nailed down, but he overutilizes them.
Yep.
Because he's got them nailed down, because he's practiced them so much, he just constantly throws out B reverse, like B reverse waveland.
Not only do they leave themselves up for more error, just in the way that they have to press more buttons, but also it's sometimes not their best option to show off that way. That's been a big problem for a while, especially when people discover new techs. Like, what was that tech that like you just absolutely mangled the control setup on your controller? Like it was Bido in Smash 4.
Yeah, Bido, yeah.
And as soon as I saw that, I was like, that's really sick. But there's no way that people are actually gonna like be able to implement that successfully. Like,
give Smash 4 like another 8 years, and people like a lot of people would have been using Beto, but no.
Yeah, you can't make that work in the time that you've got. Like, and people didn't understand that. They'd be like, "Look, I'm using Beto. It's so sick. Look at all this tech I can do." I'd be like, "Yeah, but dude, like, you can't do like very key things." Dash dancing, the dash dancing in Smash 4 was very similar with perfect pivots and stuff.
Yeah,
some
you
people
could do all of that with Beto, like. Easily.
Yeah.
Like the dash dancing, perfect pivoting, all of that stuff was free.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I definitely need to work on only using sick tech when it's necessary.
Yeah, like I remember you did like a wave bounce side B to B reverse, neutral B off stage. Like, and I was just nowhere near you, and you gave up stage control, and I was just like, "What are you doing?"
That's like the biggest thing I think is when you do something super like vulnerable. Like as Zero Suit, I'll sometimes like whiff an up B or just like guess wrong and get it on their shield, and I'll land, and they'll just not know what to do. Like, every sword user should just be like charging their F smash or their neutral beat and then like hit me as I hit the ground. But so many people will just be like, grab. And I'm like, how is the player that just like triple hit my shield with like side B landing there and then like perfectly timed whatever it is afterwards? How are they the person who also doesn't know what to do when I'm falling to the ground for free? So many people are like that, where it's like, you are too good to be fucking that up.
I think, at least for me, when that kind of thing happens, it's like I was already one step ahead in my mind. So when
something unexpected happens,
I'm just like, and then it's too late, and I missed the punish window, and you'll see that happen in Queensland a lot. Like all the good players do stuff like that, but I'm not like, I think I have serious trouble with just being like, I'm gonna get a read now, like like I'm gonna jump off stage, and then I just give up stage control, and it's like, Ari put it like this. He's like, you can. So say you get them in a 50-50%, like 50-50 scenario off stage. Like, are you gonna read the fair or not? Right?
Yep.
Like, you can 50% of the time get that, which is, more
good, because
it's more credit than it's actually due, because it's a lot less consistent than that. Yep. But anyway, and then he's like, or 40% of the time you could get a ledge trap.
Yeah.
Like, and if you miss your 40% of the ledge trap, you still maintain stage control. They're still in the corner.
Yeah, they're still in a disadvantage.
And so that 40% is a much better than the 50%.
Yep.
And so, I think I need to learn to keep on, like, I mean, I've listened back to the thing, and I can hear the piss gang saying, oh, Jaws is ledge trapping is so good and stuff like that. And I think that's literally the weakest part of my gameplay.
Right.
So I only think that it's the weakest part of my gameplay because I give up stage control so much trying to get edge guards.
Yeah.
Whereas if I stayed on, maybe I would actually be decent at it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, especially with the part of the difference between ledge trapping going off. When you look at the difference of somebody playing in friendlies and when you look at them in tournament, you can see that it's sort of like an antsy thing, like a mental thing.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people just like, they won't go off stage, or when they do go off stage, they're super confident and have a good read. But when they're in friendlies, they're like, they'll go for the ledge traps and they'll be insane at them. And you're like, dude, why is it when you then go into the other situation, do you switch that up? Why is it? And then a lot of the time they don't know. And you just got to be like, this is the thing when I talk to the younger players, I'll be like, you're trying to go for some stuff that you want to end it so quickly because the percents matter, or because you think you'll be sick, whatever the reason is. But you have to take a step back and be like, okay, what is like the right thing to do here? Yeah. What is an actual mix-up that makes sense? If you want to mix it up and be sick and do a bunch of different cool things, like, maintain the logic of the game, which is like, keep your advantage, keep the pressure on.
So I've got a question for you regarding that.
Yeah.
Because you're pretty, like, quite good at like analyzing that kind of stuff. I've listened to your VOD reviews like a bunch.
Why am I shit? Is this where this is going?
No. This is like, so you were like quite up there in Smash 4. You made PR.
Yeah.
And then coming into Ultimate, you haven't seen those results.
Yeah.
Like, I still believe in you as a player. But like, and I believe in your advice is like very valuable.
Yeah.
So when you offer advice to like these newer players, is it putting you in a weird situation where they don't know that you're actually really good?
Yes, they don't know and they don't respect it.
Exactly.
And I'm like, dude, what the hell? Yeah, no.
I'm like, that's gotta suck. Like,
it does a little bit, but I think it's just like, I was the same when I was in their situation. I remember that, like, when I was coming in, someone would give me advice. And sometimes I look back on it and go, that was the correct advice, but it just seemed like I had this whole scheme of how I wanted the game to be in my mind. And, like, people don't understand, like, the lengths of that scheme, like, how big it can get your head, where you're like, it all makes sense. Like, I've got a strategy of how to play the game in my head based on how it can be, the motivation can be based on a bunch of different things, of whether you want to look cool, whether you really want to win, whether you want to frustrate the opponent and you think that's the best way to win. But there is a right way to play, and it's about tearing down the scheme and just like strategizing with Shadru said it earlier. It's like strategizing with awareness, like knowing what the best way to win in a certain situation is, and like using the information available. And so, I'll talk to somebody and be like, hey, I really think you should have not up smashed there because you're like throwing away all the momentum you had, and it was super obvious, and you were just hoping for the best. I said that to Gravy Dice, and Gravy Dice was like super good about it. He was like, oh, thanks for the advice, man. Like, I understand where you're coming from. But some people are like, no, I did that up smash because it would have been sick.
Yeah.
And like that works for me. And the way you would have done it, you also have flaws in your plan too. And I'm like, okay, dude. And that's the biggest giveaway that someone has that mentality is when they have a serious demeanor about this. So I'm going to exclude people like Kenny, but they seriously hate characters and complain about them in a blaming way. I lost because of the character. And like I'm not saying like as soon as you lose a game, like, oh, fuck Palutena, right? Like everyone does that.
Yeah.
It's like you have hate for a character and you think that they are flawed and that is why you're losing. If that is why you're losing, play that character, you'll be the best.
Yeah, the design of the game is flawed. Like, how could you make that character so good they don't have weaknesses kind of thing?
Yeah, if you're blaming the game, you've already lost. If it is truly broken in your mind, then it should make sense in your scheme to play that character and then be the best.
Yeah.
Because you see all the strengths of the character.
Yeah, and I mean, and then you'll tell yourself, oh, no, I don't play that character because that's lame. And you come up with all these excuses to make yourself feel better about it.
No.
But yeah, in reality, you any character can beat any other character.
Yeah.
Little Mac
at
can
our level,
beat
holy
Lucina.
shit. Yeah.
Like, Kirby can beat Snake.
Dr.
like,
Eggman, whatever, yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Especially at this level, it doesn't matter what the scenario is. You'll be able to do it if you if you've got the brain for it and you understand your win conditions.
You apply yourself, and that doesn't make it easy. Like,
yeah, no, I'm not saying like you should pick up Little Mac because you like his gloves and you're gonna put yourself through the struggle to get there in time. No, you should pick up who you think is like busted and play that character if that's who you want to win.
Yeah.
Well, people say the one you enjoy the most. I feel like if you want to enjoy the game the most, that's who you should play.
Yeah.
But no, if you want to win, pick up the most busted character you can find and play that character.
Do you enjoy winning? Like, because you can enjoy playing the game and enjoy winning at like different levels, and so you got to find the character that balances those levels.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
that you have the maximum amount of fun. If you enjoy winning like quite a bit, and you like you might find a character that you kind of enjoy, and then that's good enough. Like.
Yep.
For instance, the two characters that I enjoy playing the most probably are Robin and Young Link.
Yeah.
Young Link is a more recent development, but
what? No way. When we first started playing, you were liking Young Link, but you weren't like serious with him.
When you say when we first started playing, I have no idea when you're talking about because I've only been playing him for maybe like 6 months now.
Okay.
Yeah, like and that was super casually first. The last 3 months, he's been one of my more serious secondaries.
Yeah, all right.
I
didn't know Jaws Yank was a thing. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, no, a lot of people don't know that I have any secondaries, but go on my Queensland Oz Smash and look at my characters. I've got 10 on there. I'm working on it. I want to get it up to 20.
We were talking about this before the podcast. I'll give you an opportunity to say it now, but people were saying that
Ryan.
Yeah, people are surprised about the fact that you had Young Link or that you had other secondaries at all. I'm not surprised at all. I remember way back in the start before we, had a lot of tournaments going, people were vehemently scared of your Ganon in Elite Smash because they were like, it's not fair. He keeps knocking me out of Elite Smash for this Ganon.
Yeah, that was boing boing.
Yeah.
God bless his soul.
But I think that happens all the time that, people will have a lot more secondaries than they expect. It's super depressing when you play against someone who you think you can beat and they just start wiping the floor with you with all their secondaries. They're like, oh, God, this guy's really good. Yeah, but no, yeah. So you do have, you said, like 11 characters.
Yeah, so I've played...
I mean, I don't know if it's an exaggeration.
I probably have more than that, really.
There you go.
I have close to 20 characters that I play on a consistent basis.
And Piss Gang is not surprised at all.
No, but yeah, like my Young Link, like I was missing some confirms that I would just not normally miss, and I guess it's because I didn't play any secondaries the whole day at the Arcadian.
Yep.
But like I think the closest I've been to orgasming while playing Smash is getting like boomerang to fair one drag down with Young Link into down tilt into fair one drag down into down smash, and then I was just like, oh! I was like, that's so good, I love it.
Those are the moments we chase. Yeah, fuck. Young Link has so many of those things. That's one of the reasons I reckon he could be super good as a secondary. But I would never be able to put myself through not being able to kill for as long as I could to get those moments and be like, it's worth it.
So pretty much pick out any sword character or any like heavy combo character, and like I play them because I'm like they're fundamentalist of Smash.
Yeah.
I stay away from the Pac-Mans, from the Villager, the Olimars, the Rosalinas. I'm like a fundamentalist. I just like comboing, and I like swinging a sword.
Couple players like you. I think they're a lot more rare than their effectiveness in the scene is. You and Flex, very similar. Flex is more on the perfect pressure is the perfect play kind of side, but he also uses like what works sort of flowcharts. He goes, okay, how can I get this situation into this situation, and how do I use my flowchart to do that? And it's obvious that he always chose the characters that did that.
It's funny that you had mentioned Flex, because I think that Flex is the player that I am, out of the historical PR of like Ultimate, like he's the player that I've always, like I've seen as like, oh, he's just the better version of me.
Oh, really? Yeah. So
like,
you're Flex light. He's like Jaws heavy. All right.
And since he's switched to Fox, like he hasn't been seeing as good results, but like, if you played as Fox, man,
it's nuts.
It just does whack things all the time. Yep. I'm not as whack. I think that I do like a little bit of just like I just throw myself randomly, like, and that doesn't count as being whack.
Okay.
Just throwing myself randomly off stage, but
no, that's very understandable.
He will just use the most weird moves in situations, and then I'll ask him about it, and he's like, yeah, it's just this option that makes sense. And I'm like, no, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, no.
You're crazy.
I'm kind of the opposite side of the spectrum. The only flowcharts that I would ever use were in combos and punishes with Lucas. And then other than that, I enjoyed doing stuff that was different every time. I'm always chasing a bit of novelty. When things get too easy in their novelty, like when I'm understand something fully, that's immediately when it gets boring for me. I can't do it. I can't redo these combos over and over again. I can't. Which is funny because I think that's one of the best styles. Like if you get good at that, that's one of the, because you have discipline. And that's something that's really effective in the scene when there are so many good players. If you have discipline, you can stay consistent.
Ariel.
Yes.
Ariel Helmet Siratki. I don't know his last name. But
he has discipline.
It's just fantastic, like watching him like go through the stages of Ike that he's gone through. It is just like it's been a dream come true, because we both started as Mewtwo mains, right, in Smash 4, and like I loved Mewtwo, like getting all these combos and like all these like sick little interaction things. And then I played Julian for the first time in a Mewtwo Ditto, and we were like phase jumping around like Farron and stuff.
It's
and,
like a Jedi space battle.
Yeah. And we were having so much fun. And then I fought Ari for the first time, and Ari's just like down tilt fair, dash away, down tilt fair.
Yeah, like try and get in, bitch.
And then and I was just like, but like, you're not doing any of the cool things, and he was just winning.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I historically was beating him in Smash 4, but even still, like he broke out before me because he got that Ben win. I was doing consistently better than him, and then all of a sudden he just beat Mr. L. Yep. He got a couple other upsets, and then everyone was just suddenly looking at him as like the best new up and comer, and I'm like, come on, man! Like
when Wadi, another great Mewtwo, came onto the scene and he started doing really well.
Beautiful.
One of the first things that he said once he got good was, "You don't need to know anything about this game. The only thing that he knew when he came into the scene, the only combo that he knew was down tilt to fair.
Yeah.
And that was it. And he started winning tournaments with just that.
Yeah.
Just that combo. And so, that's the thing when I talk about, like, you have to let go of your mind scheme. Like, you've got all these setups in your head. They might only work against the players that you play against.
Yeah.
Ari and other players, they'll work on, like, ground zero of, like, what works. And Kenny was saying this to me earlier off screen. He was saying, this is his secret, by the way. If he tries something and it's unsafe, he doesn't do it again. That's his number one rule. That's the only rule he follows.
Yeah, and it's an interesting thing because he just spams the same things all the time.
Yep.
And I'll punish him for it, and he'll still do it. And I think that just comes from a place of him disrespecting me.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, if that's what he says, then that's what he does.
Yeah.
I can only conclude that that's what he believes. No, but that's the thing, though, right? You work on ground zero, which is what works, and then you build from there. And that's the only successful, I think, way to play the game.
Yeah, and to round out my story of Ari, it's like he never quite labbed Mewtwo, and so I got some really sick combos by the end of the Smash 4 days.
You're
and I was
doing
loving
the footstool ones and.
Yeah. I got the footstool tech down and like down tilt, nair, up air, fair, like at the like specific percents and stuff like that.
What does Julian call that? He had a funny name for that one.
Yeah.
Swiggity Switty? I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. That's exactly what he called it, actually.
Yeah.
The sweetie. But the Ari never really did any of that. And then come Ultimate, he slowly worked on his Ike stuff to a point where now he's doing nair, up air, like he's doing like nair, back air, like all of these things that like kind of like as a player who plays a lot of characters, plays a lot of combo characters, I pick up that stuff pretty easily.
Yeah.
And so like when Ari will be like, oh man, I learned to do this, I always love to just pick Ike and then immediately do it to him.
Yeah. Be like, oh, is that how you do it?
Yeah, it's one of my favorite things to do.
Fuck, that's funny.
But yeah, because Ike is one of my best characters too, just because of that. Because, I really appreciate. I really like notice the minuscule things about Ari when he improves his play in ways like that.
Yeah.
And it's a joy for me to watch, like when his punish game is becoming as good as his neutral and his keep out game is, because he's always been in my books like someone who is able to get the hit way higher percentage of the time than me, but could never take the hit as far. Yeah. And now he is taking that hit far and like consistently.
His neutral is like suffocating in a defensive way. But the thing about him is like if leveling up your punish or leveling up your follow-ups was like climbing up the stairs where you get to the next level, Ari like maps out the stairs and makes sure there's nothing that like will fuck with him until he gets to the next level. And other people will just go fucking stairs and go up. The danger is though, like you could rely on something that's not true, and then when the matter works, you like fall through the whole staircase. Yeah. But he's not like that. He makes sure he does stress testing. He does the surveys. He tests the quality of granite in the stairs and makes sure that it's all okay.
And honestly, like this metaphor is like going a little bit into the woods, but like it's the truth. Like he really, he makes sure that he's getting something without thinking about it before he moves to the next thing. And I think that's a really strong aspect of the way that he approaches the game.
And Jasmo said something like that early on in Smash 4 too. He said his idea of stuff that's not true but works was frame trapping. Like stuff that like, haha, you've made a mistake, now you're in my trap. And he said frame trapping is really fun. He said this in the Dr. Mario advice forum, which might still be up on Oz Smash in Smash 4 forums. And there was something like you could F smash somebody's shield and they would run up to punish you and you could up B right before it happened, but it wasn't safe. And he said it's really fun, right? But that's not what you should focus on in a game. You focus on what's true. That'll make you a better player. Yeah. And I think that's true for a lot of players. They love doing the frame traps because it's like a definite sign that you have outsmarted your opponent. I say outsmarted in quotations.
So when you say frame traps, I think you're saying like...
That's just what he called it. But it's
that's
just
not what
stuff
a frame
that's
trap was.
It's the real thing is just like stuff that's not true. It's stuff that's strings. Stuff that's like you're being creative while you do it.
Right. Well, funny thing is that a frame trap is actually true. Yeah. Like, so it's not like strings is the correct term for, I think, for what you're trying to talk about.
Yeah.
But I mean, Millis just asked me to explain what frame traps are.
Yeah.
Frame traps are where you're able to throw out a move where the only option they have to escape that move is another option that you can then punish before they can do anything else.
Yeah.
So Fox had it in Smash 4 where he could up tilt you, and then if you air dodged, he could get another, like he could he could jump up, try and up air you, and if you air dodged it, he could then fast fall
With like
and
a
up
down
tilt
arrow.
you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, up tilt you again before you were able to act.
Yeah.
And so you ended up actually
But if you didn't air dodge, you would still get up aired.
You would still get up aired, but you would end up taking less damage because you didn't then get up tilted again into the up air.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that's what an actual like frame trap
Not
is.
stuff that's just gimmicky traps.
Yeah. That's like strings and reeds.
They are
soft reeds rather.
Yeah, they are gimmicks really. They're like, and if you can come up with enough of those, you'll like fool somebody for a set.
You can fool someone for a good while.
But you might not be able to keep it going when people have the ability to study you and they have the ability to look up like all of these things.
Yep.
Like I'm not a what you described was just being fucking huge. But yeah, I'm not like what's a character main? I'm not a Mario main. But I can join the Mario Discord. I can check out their resources. I can watch Dark Wizzy games. I can watch your games if you play Mario against me.
Yep.
And I can look for the things that you're doing, and I can find holes in them. I can find the character that has holes in your metagame and play that character in the way that beats your... So that's why
not something I would recommend doing.
No, that's stupid. But that's the point of like you got to do things that are true argument. I don't necessarily agree with it at this level because it's so much fun to outsment your opponent.
Yeah.
Quotation
No,
marks.
I think that's what Queensland kind of embodies.
Yeah, it just
we
means
do
like,
that kind
watch
of shit.
this shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's what you can do and why it's dangerous to rely on those things. If you want to be the very best, probably build on some safe stuff or some true stuff.
Ari and Shadru, number 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're not doing that kind of thing.
Just think about how hard it is.
Ari actually does mix in some of that, so I'm sure Shadru does mix in some of that, but you know.
Yeah, they're very nuts with... I think they find reactions cooler than reads.
Yeah.
I think they're like, wow, how did that person react to that like 2 frames of different DI to mix up the combo? That is also true. That's their favorite part, I think. A frame trap is where I paint a painting of a road on a wall and the naive but effective roadrunner manages to run down the painted road. And I, in attempting to follow him, slam myself on the solid wall. Why is that so funny? Anyway, so if you're not aware, anyone who's watching for the first time, Jaws is on the Tournameta podcast, which means there are some fun little segments that we do. I like to call them games because for me, I'm like the Japanese game show host where I get you to run through like tiny holes and you're covered in grease. And
I'm very curious to see Ganon's Advocate for me.
It was tough. I didn't want to write things that would make you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, and I'm not all over Twitter and social media either. So you might not necessarily have been able to come up with them.
I think I came up with some good ones.
Okay.
Ones that you would generally find displeasing to try and argue.
Excellent.
But the things are though, like people were like, oh, I don't have an opinion either one way or the other. But sometimes it's against what your personality is. Like when I had Jed on, I made him be cocky. And that was fun. He was cocky. He had it in him. He did quite well.
I was listening to that one actually earlier. I heard the hypotheticals that you did for him. Oh my goodness.
The hypotheticals are my favorite.
There was some crazy times.
Anyway, so the first one on the list is... I like to start with the speed round. All right, cool. Everyone at home gets to listen to the Sonic Drowning soundtrack, which is,
oh, yeah. I played that game. Sonic 3?
Yeah.
Something?
I don't know.
Yeah.
One of them. But people, famous artists are jealous of how classic and iconic and nice to the ears it is. I fall asleep to this music. It's better than Beethoven.
Do you listen to ASMR?
ASMR to Sonic Drowning? Yeah, it's just... gotta drown fast!
Zeus Zeno has been trying to convince me that ASMR is like a normal cool thing, like because he listens to that shit when he's going to bed. And look, I'm not judging a guy, but like I listen to it and I'm just like, I'm not about this at all.
The creepiest thing is when you watch like a live stream of ASMR and there's 4,000 people watching and nobody's talking in chat.
Yeah.
Because everyone's got their right hands in the most important spot.
No. I like to believe that that's not what they're
not
doing.
What he does, yeah. I like to believe they're all just in a sensual, quiet, relaxed mood.
Yeah, they're studying or something maybe, like, or they're going to sleep.
Or
like,
they
please.
are clapping it. Either way, you will be doing the speed round. The important part of this is you have to turn around so you can't see the questions beforehand.
All right.
So the idea is you have to answer them as quickly as possible. Don't think
cabled.
them too much, right? You just got to answer. Sometimes I put in hard ones in there. All right? All right, you're good. All right, so I'm going to get the countdown from Jet. And
I
then
think I'm
going
going
to
to suck at this for the record.
Well, that's good because I didn't write more than 20. So if you get under the high score, that's good by me.
Yeah.
All right, I've got my thumb up. And good. Is Lucina a weenie character?
No.
Lamest character on the roster?
Olimar.
Most wanted DLC?
Sora.
Does being Christian lead to salvation?
No.
Being best anime?
Tough. Let's go with Hunter x Hunter.
Best manga?
One Piece.
Most overrated anime?
Bleach.
Weed? Question mark.
Good.
PM or Rivals?
PM at this point, very open to Rivals.
Rivals or Smash 4?
Smash 4.
Piss is stored in the
Weenie.
Piss Easter or Peaster?
Peaster.
Being a software consultant is
Okay.
to beat Lucina, you gotta
Run away and spam.
1 billion lions or all the Pokemon?
All the Pokemon.
Endless supply of pocket sand or endless supply of belly button fluff?
Endless supply of pocket sand.
We're getting all your stuff. You put your phone in your pocket and then, oh, you're done, by the way.
Okay.
It's out of time. That's fine. We don't get the finish. So you got up to 16. That's not bad. That's about average.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Didn't bad.
It's the other ones are usually the ones I throw in. You got to answer this one. No one's keeping track, but everyone always says Palutena for best waifu in Smash or Zelda or something like that. So what do you think the best waifu in Smash is? No one said Zero Suit, but they're all wrong.
Yeah, look, I think both Zero Suit and Palutena are cute. But like, there's this. So I follow Protobarnum on Twitter, as I should, because it's my Twitter. Like, you know, he's my god.
Yeah.
And he retweets from this like Japanese account that does like all these cute drawings of Lucina, and like, man, after seeing those, like,
she's becoming
Lucina is my waifu in Smash like Ultimate, which works for me.
I thought you were gonna go on this elaborate ploy of like, you know, there's this character I play, been playing her for a while. She's got that cute blue hair.
Dude, like,
she's
so
grown
just
on
straight,
you.
just yeah. Like, she wouldn't have been my pick. I don't know what would have been my pick, but now, yeah, no, I like her.
Fair enough. I should just say best waifu in video games to like spice this up a bit, because I feel like that would trigger a lot more people.
That'd be way harder though.
Yeah, it would.
Like,
but that's the point of the speed round. I don't want to have to come up
Yeah.
with 20 questions every time.
Yeah, but a lot of the time you're asking like
Similar
this or
ones?
this,
Yeah.
like best anime, and like, you know, by the way, it's Hunter x Hunter, Steins Gate, and Code Geass, and I had to pick one, which
Ooh.
is very unfortunate. I just said it,
Yeah,
but like it's all
those-
three of them.
Yeah, those are the top three.
Like, I would have said Steins Gate at one point, but like I've watched Hunter x Hunter like 3-4 times through now.
I always get the anime fans to answer that one on here because it's so tough for them. Pudge was like that also. He was like, fuck.
Yeah.
And what'd you say for best manga? One Piece. Is that
One
just
Piece.
because of the longevity of it, the fact that it's got so much to it and it's been so successful?
Like,
so long?
I'm very invested in like characters and story and plot progression.
Yeah.
And so the anime is probably like, you know, bottom 10 anime that I've ever watched.
Really?
Like, it's terrible.
Jesus.
I hate it. Because it's just full of spoiler. They have the Dragon Ball Z thing of like going for like a whole episode,
Right.
like, and nothing actually happening. But the
But
manga
when you
is
read
like
manga, you
like,
churn through it.
Oh,
You
yeah,
go
yeah.
at your own pace, and you can also be like, "Oh, he's screaming." Next page.
yeah, exactly. And then something different is happening.
Yeah.
So it's really good the way that they've built up the story. I don't think it's the best written manga necessarily. I just think that at this point, like, it's up there for
Yeah.
sure. But I think at this point, with so much story, I just can't like not say that I love it the most.
I feel like the really long ones, you have to give some credit when they've gone as long as they have and still kept an audience. And also, because it's not just like, oh, I'm just invested. It's also, it has been consistently entertaining enough to keep you interested the whole way.
Oh, and on One Piece, I mean, for the longest time, it was getting much better. It dipped in quality a little bit around chapters 600 to 750 or something like that. But then it's almost up to 1,000 now, and it's just been going way better. The latest couple chapters have been insane. Definitely recommend it to anyone that can be bothered. But
okay. So if you got a top 3 of anime, do you have a top 3 of manga as well that you would recommend?
No, I don't. I haven't decided on a top 3 of manga, but I would definitely say don't read Bleach and don't read Naruto.
Okay.
Because yeah, like I liked I think Naruto less like I like Naruto more.
Yeah.
But the whole last arc was just
rough.
Not on my radar. Yeah.
Holy
like
shit.
I would very much they took all of the suspense of Madara and just fucking like wasted it on Kaguya and that was just such a horrible end. But Bleach ended it way worse because
I haven't touched Bleach. Anyone who's like watched Bleach has been like, "Don't fucking touch Bleach."
A very, very quick cap on why it was so bad. The author had pretty much lost all interest in it. The editors were like, "Oh, we need to save this, so we're gonna just keep feeding him things to do."
Yeah.
And so he wasn't drawing backgrounds. He was like skipping out a lot of stuff. And it was getting towards the very end, and the sales were really down. So the editors literally said,
"Finish it.
Hey, we're canning it.
Yeah.
You need to finish this in 3 chapters." And so he's like, all right.
I could do that.
And so he did it in regular sized chapters, 3 chapters that would have probably taken like a good 40 chapters. He fit into 3. And so you get the whole end of the manga, like in the last chapter, like all of the culmination of the whole thing, like in these like speech bubbles that just made absolutely no sense. And like the whole wrap up of the story that's meant to make you feel closure is just completely ruined because there's not enough time to like explore it.
There's no way that someone can finish such a large story in 3 chapters
and
anyways.
so it was just I was very, very, very disappointed with Bleach because I really liked it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's nuts. What you're saying, though, is that you really only need to read the last 3 chapters. That explains the whole thing.
Yeah. You would literally have no idea what's happening.
Does it make no sense because it was like he just wrote these paragraphs and he just fucking ship it? Or was it like just so complicated in the steps that he wanted to finish it and he just only had 3 to go? Or did he fully give up?
Number 2, I think that he'd lost passion, but I think that if he'd been given time, he would have fleshed it out better. Okay. But it was still just like very downhill from where it was.
I mean, that's tough, right? That's the sign of somebody who's a good author and a good artist is that they go through those tough times and they bounce back. Like I know people watching My Hero Academia, you got to be ready for a not great arc coming after the one that we just had. It's the overhaul
It's a short arc. It's a short arc.
But it's not great, right? But they bounce back.
Hey, look, the villain. I like the villain, and I like the way that Deku evolves in that arc.
Oh, I love it. Yeah. I love Deku and all of it, though.
The arc is pretty shit, though.
Yeah, it's... Yeah. You can't read it. I just had to skip it.
A lot of people complain about the couple arcs after that, and I don't really understand. I like those better.
I like the ones we're at now. Yeah. No spoilers. But another example of that is Kingdom. It's like 500 chapters and stuff.
Yeah, that's definitely on my radar.
Not all of it's good. You got to admit at some point, it is the most recent part that's not good. And that sometimes they'll have a dip out of the story where they'll just like flesh out for like 20 chapters somebody else's background story.
Yeah, they've said that it's like one of the best in world building. Like it's one of the best examples.
But sometimes you just don't give a shit. And you got to be like, man, this is boring as.
Yeah.
I'm ready for the action. And you got to go back to 20 chapters afterwards and like right back to where you started off.
One of my favorite book series, my second favorite book series ever, The Wheel of Time, is like 14 books of like 900 to 1,000 pages.
Yep.
Like, so it's insanely long. And yeah, like it goes into so much depth in the world and I love it. But then like there's like a whole string of like 3 books where it's like, you going to like 200 different characters, seeing all their different viewpoints. It goes into like the politics of, hey, this country is trading this many barrels of oil to this country for this reason.
Oh,
and you're just like, oh my God.
You're like, I love you, but shut up.
Yeah, seriously, just stop.
Berserk was another one like that, where, look, a lot of people will hate me for this, but I have skipped all of the chapters between when, what's her name, loses her mind, and when she's just gotten it back now. Which is something like 3 years or something like that.
Oh my God!
And what's his face? Pudge loved that manga, but he says like he's kind of angry at me when I explain that to him because he feels like you have to go through it to understand what kind of pain Berserk went through, but also like all of the fans. It's nuts. Spoilers. Sorry for spoiling.
Yeah. No, I haven't read Berserk, and that's definitely something that I'm gonna read. So.
Oh, you have to, dude.
Yeah.
The first
arc is the best arc in all of manga, says Pudge.
It probably is. Honestly, it probably is. My eyes light up thinking about it.
I don't know how much manga Pudge has read.
He's read a lot. His most recommended manga was one that I've never heard of before. He said it was his favorite, the one with the bird boy who picks himself up out of his life, and I think about it.
Oh, I've heard about that, yeah.
Yeah, so I think he's a bit of a on the weeb side, but
I think he is too, but he's also the kind of person like Finn who will just go watch these random indie movie, like go to like a cinema like festival and like watch these like really obscure things, and then that'll be his favorite. Like,
yeah.
So, you know, like he could have read 3 manga and his favorite one is just this one no one's ever heard of, and you're like, wow. Like, and I'm not shit talking Pudge here. I just legitimately don't know. Like,
if he could be like that. Yeah. You are shit talking Finn though.
Yeah. Like,
Finn watches a fuck ton of movies.
No. I definitely wasn't shit talking Finn either.
Yeah. I get where you're coming from. That you don't know how to grade what their opinions are because you don't know how much they're actually
Finn's never given his opinion on film. Like,
no.
I think that it would be much better than mine because I haven't watched that much film.
Yep.
I'm like fairly standard on film. I don't even have a Netflix subscription, so I don't even watch TV anymore.
That's a bit wild.
Yeah.
What do you watch?
I play Smash. I work full time, and I read and watch manga and anime.
Yeah, fair enough.
So
no time for movies.
Yeah.
Man, the amount of people that haven't seen the last 2 Avengers movies.
I've seen them, but I only watched them because I was going to go see Endgame, so I'm like, I better watch Infinity War now.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'd already seen all the clicks.
Yeah.
I'd already seen the memes, so I'm like,
you already knew.
I already know it's going to happen.
But, like, that always surprised me so much when people be like, oh, this, like, for me, staple of, like, culture. I haven't seen it yet. And I'm like, oh, my God. How can you not? But it's crazy how many people are out there who have done that. I mean, it just goes to show that there's different interests and stuff. But you say you play Smash, you practice Smash. That's what took me off there, that, you know.
Yeah, so I don't lab as much as I should anymore. I mean, like,
as you used to.
Like, let's be real. Like, I play Lucina.
I'm
not sure if you're aware.
Yeah. That's rough. Oh, God.
So, like, when I first started, I'm just like, oh, yep, Nair, F Smash, that works.
That's all I need.
No, like recently was like I sat down in the lab and I'm like, okay, I've started getting shield breakers in tournament pretty consistently. I need to know what I can do out of a shield breaker at every percent leading up to death, because at about 40 to 50 is character's kill percent for run to the ledge, charge neutral B. You can kill some characters like Jigglypuff at like 33 or something.
You get Jigglypuff at 0 because when she shield breaks, she dies.
Yeah, you're correct. But I meant like a really light character. Yeah. But it's like you do like falling up air to nair, fast fall, and then you can do 2 things. You can either nair for the most confirmed true damage out of that, and that deals about 35% total.
That's pretty good.
Or you can do full hop fair, and then everybody will normally jump, and if you jump and I fair again, I catch the jump,
You've been
now you're
knocked
off stage.
sideways.
I still have my jump,
Yep.
and you don't have a jump, and you're off the stage, and so I can get kills off that like pretty well.
I love doing that, but Zero Suit's not great at doing it because people's bodies move so much that you have to hit the forward airs. And then if you hit the forward air
big sword.
and you only hit the first hit and they fall out, then you get hit by their up air. It sucks. But yeah, I get what you're saying. Like you can get the read. You follow the. It's good that you know both options and that you follow the one that you know.
I generally go for the fair because with the fair, it's like 4% less than an air.
Yeah.
Maybe even less. I think it's like 3 or 2% less than the nair.
But you get such a crazy good positional advantage.
Yeah, it's a much better position. Fair has a lot less aerial lag.
Yep.
So I can just react to the next option a lot better.
Yeah. Anyway, so you don't lab that much anymore, but you play a lot. You play against with Piscan quite a lot.
Yes,
You've got the one session I know that Ari mentioned, and he was like, I hope people can make it.
Yeah, so we play pretty much every Tuesday and Thursday. So originally the idea with Tuesday sessions, I was training with like whoever I could get a hand on, because Ari was training with David. David just lived down the road. DFS, for anyone that didn't know.
Yep.
He just lived down the road from Ari, so Ari and David would have a one-on-one session.
Yeah.
Where they just grinded out a bunch of games. And I didn't necessarily have that. And then on Thursdays we'd all come together as Piss Gang.
Yep.
And then David moved into the city, and so then Ari, we've trained together for forever, so he knows that unfortunately, a lot of Piss Gang, as good as they are at the game and as much as they love hanging around, they don't love the game the same way that I love the game or Ari loves the game.
Yeah.
I think Millis likes the game quite a bit, but he has character crises that he goes into. Aiden likes the game, but again, same thing. But Carl and Tom will just shit on the game, and is not sometimes it's just not enjoyable to play against someone who's shitting on the game while you're playing, and they're just I can't beat that, and they're getting frustrated, and you're feeling bad because they're getting frustrated.
You want them to have fun. And
yeah. And so he hit me up, and he's like, even though they live close, he's like, I'm gonna go play with Jaws, who's 45 minutes away.
That's rough.
And so he came to mine, and we were playing for probably about a month and a half. And then Sifo hit me up, and he's like, "Bro, you got to get me in on this."
Yeah.
And I was
Sifo's
kind of
one of those players who can have a lot of fun.
And I was a bit selfish.
I've got Ari all to myself.
I know, and I'm I had him all to myself, but I invited him as soon as I'm just that's fine, you can come. And then so it became 3, and I've just been I don't want to be a rotation for the night that I was meant to be grinding.
Yeah.
So now I've just started inviting people to the Tuesday nights whenever I can, so that we don't have a 3-way going.
Yeah, and then you can just spend those grinding sessions with whoever.
Yeah, and so now it's basically Piss Sesh Tuesday, Piss Sesh Thursday, FNS Friday, likely. Monthly is practically every weekend is now a monthly, thanks to the growth of the Queensland scene.
Yeah,
so I'm playing 4 days a week plus working 5 days a week, so I don't get that much time.
What you described with people getting angry was the death of big boys, unfortunately. I mean, Stephen never really got angry at the game. He sort of just left. But, man, it's rough. When people get angry and you're just like, oh, man, what do I just want to learn. But you can't even learn because someone else is just, so pissed off. They can't learn. They can't get over your basic options that you're beating with. They're playing worse than they would be because they are frustrated.
Yeah.
And you just want them to have as much fun as possible while they're playing with you. And it's tough.
Yeah. And not going to lie, very excited about how Tom's been doing and how seriously he's been taking the game recently. And I don't want rivals to come out because I know he's immediately never going to play the game again.
Yeah.
But he's been doing so well. And he, We had a little Thursday session at just before the Arcadian, and in it, Ari, Delve was like, "Hey, we should do a tournament," and I'm like, Tom and Carl hate doing tournaments to the friendly sessions, but I'm super keen all the time for a tournament. So I'm stuff it. We have 14 people at our session.
Yeah.
Let's do
That's
it.
insane.
Yeah. And so we did a mini session. You know, I was seed 2, Ari was seed 1, Tom was like seed 7 or 8, and so he had to fight someone and then immediately go into Ari.
I'm hearing the music from the what?
Ping pong?
No.
Top 5. By
No,
the way.
the doco when Isaiah runs through the whole enemy crew. For Tom running through all of Piss Gang.
Tom goes up against Ari.
Yeah.
Like Ari's first round, 2-1's Ari, right? And then goes up against Umbrella, one of the worst matchups. Toon Link v flipping Donkey Kong.
Yep.
That's so hard. Clapped him 2-0.
Don't romanticize
Then,
it.
winners finals versus me. I'm no slouch. I try every single time. So there's like 100% of my effort was going into this.
Yeah.
And yeah, he bought me 2-0 as well. He was just on a tear. I made it back through Millis, who was on a tear. Millis, who beat Carl for the first time ever.
Hey,
and then
congrats,
he came, like, he beat Umbrella, which is another really hard matchup for him. Millis was on a tear that night too. It was the story of Tom and Millis. I barely clutched it out in game 3 versus Millis. He was cleanly winning, and then he came off stage, and I back at him. And then I just did not let him get back to stage. Just a tip for people against D2D.
Yeah. You can edge
hit
guard him a lot more than you think.
You can edge guard quite a bit, and also the top of his up B.
No,
No armor at all. You just back air that shit. No matter what character you're playing, just hit him while he's at the top of his up B.
Millis is livid.
Yeah,
he doesn't care. He's like, only Jaws edge guards me. But yeah, also on the downwards hit, you can hit him right before he hits the ground. Zero Suit can down smash DDD before he hits the ground.
Wow, that's broken.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I barely beat Millis, and then I had to fight Tom again in Grands, and 2-1 over me. And so he just cleaned
nuts.
everyone up. Upcoming to Arcadian, I feel shit. I was just like,
Tom's gotta fucking win this thing. Everyone's put me seed 1. What the fuck?
Yeah, and then Tom came through pros. He beat Crimson 2-0 in round 2. Like Crimson, who ended up coming 7th or whatever. Who beat Princess 3-0. Like Tom is fucking good at the game, man. He just needs to stop complaining and pull his head in sometimes.
One of the things that I do when I complain, because I get angry at the game. Like I said before, my best way to play is I get angry at my opponent for the way that they're playing. I don't angry at the person at all, but I got to harness that anger. But that's an easy way to tilt, right? You get angry, and then something happens that you don't like. Your emotions flood through from the previous mentality you were in, and now you're angry at the game. You're angry at why the hell did my up smash not hit there? How can they fall out? And one of the things that I do that helps me stay calm is I try and make my anger as funny as possible. So you just the one thing that I do is when I spot dodge, nothing ever happens. I just get hit anyways. Like, I could be in the environment. Fuck it. I'm always getting hit. My spot dodge is basically me letting go of shield and then putting it back on. There's no invulnerability associated in it. But there's this video where this guy is complaining about being flashbanged in Modern Warfare 2. You could look it up. But he's like, how come whenever I flashbang, I just throw a napkin at their face? And whenever I get flashbanged, it's like someone just drop kicked me and then I proceed to get face fucked by a man named Raquise. And I do that every time I'm angry at my spot dodges. And then it makes me laugh, right? And then I'm not angry anymore because I think about that. So that's one of my tips. If you get really angry at the game, just try and make your anger as funny as possible. Make your complaints as funny as possible because it's a good way to you can feel that anger, but you're not channeling it in an unhealthy way.
Yeah.
So that's just a hot tip. Just accept it and move on. That's also a really good hot tip. It's also, even body language. I remember when Ice in Melee was really good. He was on the top of his game, German player. He was talking about how he beat a bunch of players. He got top 3 at a big tournament. Yeah. And he was talking about he really wanted to focus on the outside of game aspects. And people mentality and stuff. He's like, no, I mean methods of how I come in, body language, the way that I'm sitting and watching the game, the way of me nodding instead of shaking my head, just all the little things to try and keep my body as calm as possible.
FGC nod.
Yeah, but the FGC nod is the counter that is the FGC head shake when you're frustrated at
It's
yourself.
so funny. They're actually completely opposites.
And but that's the thing. When you see someone do the head shake, they're not just, oh, I shouldn't have done that. They're tilted. They're immediately tilted when you see that shake. You're like, oh God, this is a bad sign. But the head nod is like, yes, I accept it. Moving on. So you got to keep track of all the little things.
Yeah.
I'm not witty enough to quickly turn anger into humor. Controllers hitting the ground every time. Hey, but that's funny. You could just be like, you better back off or I'm going to throw my controller at you.
If anyone wants a good lesson in how to shake things off, watch Caboose vs. Crimson, the set from the Arcadian. Crimson got some stupid shit on Caboose and some dumb things happened, and he is just visibly chuckling, laughing, and nodding, being like, "Yeah, all right,
nodding is
you
sick.
got me."
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
Caboose is coming up too. I'm surprised he didn't do better, but he did.
Caboose is always up. I don't know him
Let's
at
not
all,
start.
but I just assume that he doesn't practice that much. He just seems like the kind of person that just rocks up.
I just assume he's got one of the best mentalities of just calmness and having a good time. That's one of the signs.
I've never even had a conversation with him, and I can just tell.
Yeah, all through gameplay for me. I played him once. That was it. I knew. You're laughing. A man has fallen into the river in Lego City, and you're laughing. Exactly. If you say something like that to yourself, but yeah. Anyways, we're up to the next half-hour mark, which means we're going to the next part, the next segment, the next game show. This time we've got a jar of grease, and we're going to be greasing you up and making you try and fit through the bottom of the door. Outside, and we'll record that and put it up on Twitter. Anyway, so what we're really going with...
Do we have wireless headsets? Hold on. How's this going to work?
We're going Ganon's Advocate. Hey, I called it as it was coming down. I didn't even know that was what we're going to do.
Nice.
But, yeah, so the way that we do Ganon's Advocate, if you're not aware, is that we propose some sort of concepts that might not be what you actually agree with. And I have to come up with them. So maybe you do agree with them, and sometimes I've gotten them wrong. Usually it's supposed to be the first one is something you could agree with, it's something you normally agree with and we just talk about it. The second one's about in the middle.
Yeah.
And the third one is something you definitely don't agree with, and it's going to be hard for you to argue. But I think we're slowly phasing out the first one.
Okay.
So that we can just make you argue things that you don't believe in the whole way through. Or just make you feel like not yourself the whole way through. As the first one that's going to come up is... Sunny Coast has the highest skill to player ratio. That's not the one I was thinking was going to come up. That was a mismatch read there, but that's okay.
Dude, the title on that text file.
No, that's the secret one.
Hold on.
Hold up. All right, there was a spoiler for Jaws there.
Hey now.
Let's just do two at once then, since we don't want to leave the spoilers and the chat doesn't understand.
I'm not arguing that.
The title of the text box is "Pissmas wasn't very fun," which is what you have to argue. But let's start off with Sunny Coast has the highest skill to player ratio. That's something you probably believe in, or maybe you don't.
I do. So
I agree with this too.
So why I have to argue against it?
I wasn't sure if you agreed with this one. You have to argue for it.
Oh, okay. That's easy.
Yeah.
So our scene is the smallest.
Yeah.
Because we don't have a weekly, so we don't bring in... I mean, it's also the least populous area of the three main areas, which is the Gold Coast, Brisbane, and Sunny Coast. You also have, a little Ipswich scene, a little Toowoomba scene.
Yeah, I say Sunny Coast is like the north, like beyond the wall.
Yeah. Because, I don't live in the Sunny Coast, but everyone's like, oh, you have to go to the coast tonight? Like, blah, blah, blah.
Your Sunny Coast scene, yeah.
But I live 45 minutes away from the coast.
You live 45 minutes away from everything.
Yeah, I do. 45 minutes away from here, from the coast. But anyway, so we have the lowest player populations, and I think that
for that population,
we easily have the most skill, because what we do is we're like, oh, you're interested in the game, you're kind of cool. You should just come to our sessions. We hold sessions. They're not exclusive. You can just come along.
Yep.
And they get to play lots of friendlies versus quite good people. Ari's the second best in Queensland. He's there. I'm there. I'm, top 20.
Only
Kyle,
cool kids, though. So
Kyle and David are, right behind me in that top 20 range. Tom is this insanely knowledgeable person who's actually a secret boss. Then you got like Millis and Aiden, who also love the game.
Both on the come up.
They're on the 40. Aiden isn't on the 40 yet.
He will be.
But he will be.
Yeah.
And Delve, who's also been around, like he doesn't come to every session, but Delve is definitely an insane hidden boss that everyone should look out for. Should he have time to spend on Smash, because he has a wife.
I hear this a lot. That Delve is.
Yeah. And he did quite well. Not as well as he could have. I think he came 17th on the Arcadian.
That's very good.
It is very good, but I know, and he knows, that he could have done better.
Wow, that's saying something.
And so I like Delve is someone that I like. That in my player insight, I picked him for the next up and comer out of Sunny Coast. Like,
wow.
I specifically shouted him out, and I'll do it again because he's really, really good. And I can't wait to see him break out into that like top 20 kind of level.
Okie doke.
Like David and Carl and me and stuff.
To be honest, I keep confusing Delve and Quaxie. Delve is the Hacks Money of Queensland. I'll say it. So I think it's one of those players that like kind of like Lush, where you play them and then you have faith in them.
Yeah.
Where you're like, this guy's nuts. Because people didn't rate Lush, but then as soon as people play Lush, they're like, this guy's nuts. I haven't played Delve yet, so I can't comment, and I won't be like, he will be there.
Have you ever versed Luscious Sheik?
No.
Oh, man, you versed that Sheik, and I felt bad for like beating him.
Because you're like, this guy's beating the crap out of me.
He's so sick, and I'm just like, up out of your combo, and now I'm just gonna like F smash, and you're gonna die at 80, and like, and it's just
that speed Sheik's is the beginning of time, though.
Yeah, but it's so much worse now, and it's like, oh, he's so cool, but he can't win.
Get it done.
You can't win because you're playing Sheik.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Unless you're Void. There is a possibility for Sheik up there, but
me playing Ganon's advocate on this one is, don't you think there are other regions that also have a disproportionate amount of skill compared to the population, like the Gold Coast?
So I think the Gold Coast is quite good, but they have a lot of lower level players as well.
Okay.
I think that there's this. Definitely my argument for this is there is the same amount of players on the 40 from the Sunshine Coast and the Gold Coast, and we have like a third of the players.
All right.
So that says something by itself, I feel like.
That you just go for the stats. It's hard to argue with the stats there.
Yeah.
When we are using like a ratio. Yeah. Yeah, okay, fair enough. I just wanted to throw it to you, to give a shout out to you, scene as well, and be like, I love my boys, and it's definitely true, I think, as well. The far north, the beyond the wall. I'm starting to make Game of Thrones references to the entire regional that we've gotten on.
Hey, we'll be the Wildlings. It's okay.
Yeah,
we'll come at you. The King of the North.
Pisgang is Wildlings. I'd say, nah, it's not King. King beyond the wall is Ari.
Oh, I'm King of the North then. I'll take Jon Snow's position.
No. King of the North is Finn. He's north side.
Oh, that is not okay.
That's so true. He's like Bran, right? He takes over in the end. I don't know. No, he's more like who's the main guy?
Finn lives so close to the city.
Finn's got the same curly hair sort of as the other guy, the main guy who gets killed in the Red Wedding. Spoilers.
The other guy that gets killed?
The oldest Stark son. Anyone know that guy?
Ned.
Yes. Finn's Ned.
Wait, no. It's not Ned. Ned's the dad.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he's definitely not Ned.
Hold on. How do we not know this?
For some reason, Dan is stuck in my head.
It's definitely not Dan.
It's definitely not Dan. Come on, chat. Shitashi, King of the North.
It's not Joe.
It's Joe.
It's not spoilers at this point.
Who's Joe?
Rob? Rob Stark.
Rob Stark. That's
there
it.
You go.
So Finn's Rob Stark. Joe Mama. Shitashi, King of the North. Where's Ari? I mean, where's Shitashi? Is he north side?
Yes, he's the King of the North.
Okay.
He actually lives north side.
Shitashi's Ned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
he gets decapitated, but not yet. We haven't reached that yet.
You haven't reached the end of season 1?
No.
I mean,
our storyline hasn't reached end of storyline. Season 1 of Game of Thrones.
Oh my God! Are you putting that on Shitashi? Are you saying that's what's going to happen?
I'm saying
to him?
he hasn't been decapitated
Get
yet,
out
right?
of here.
Well, he's not.
Get out of
he's
here.
not PR while also decapitated, is he? He's not like without a head playing the game.
I don't know, dude.
Maybe that is he's Rob Stark because he's got no brain. He's got a computer instead. He's been resurrected with the power of technology.
Dude, with the way that Game of Thrones ended, I wouldn't have been surprised if they'd brought back Ned Stark as a zombie or some bullshit like that.
I wouldn't think a zombie. Like, he just got brought back as a zombie who got his life back through the power of magic or something.
And he like comes in to sacrifice himself at the very end.
Yeah.
So, it's so tragic.
That's actually too smart for the writers at the end of...
That's
That's actually too smart.
Wow.
I would have liked to see that
Yeah.
more than what I saw. Have you seen this Game & Watch? Season finale soon. I see Bayo, and that's definitely season finale quality. But even when he does stuff, let's talk a little bit about Chris. Give him a quick shout out. Even when he does stuff with other characters, he still does things that nobody else does with those characters that are intelligent defensive plays that you wouldn't expect.
Yeah. Have you played as Piranha Plant?
No, and I don't want to.
Yeah,
just hearing that makes me uncomfortable.
It's his best secondary in my mind.
He was playing a bit of Ice Climbers early on in the meta, and I was so frightened of that as well. I was like, that could be so obnoxious. That could be so wrong. Anyway, so that was the first one. Sunny Coast, we've already decided is the wildlings, pistlings, if you will. Mm-hmm. And we'll go to the next one, which is... No, don't do that one.
Well, we can't not see that one. It's number 2.
Now you can see it, but I was going to get you to do Piss Moves wasn't very fun next. Getting second at the Arcadian was free. Can you argue that?
Argue that?
Yeah, that you argue that it was free. It was easy.
Like, this one isn't too hard for me, actually. Like, so...
really?
Like, come on, man. I'm trying to play Gavin's Advocate here.
Okay. No, I mean, usually people go one way. They either like, I am Ganon, and they adopt it, and they never give me an inkling about how they feel. Other people are like, I can't argue this one.
No,
like, you got to. Anyway.
But in all seriousness, lately I have just not been dropping sets to people that aren't PR.
Yeah.
For the past 2 months, I haven't dropped a single set to someone who wasn't PR.
And you think you're going to keep that up?
Yeah, I'm planning on it.
I think you could.
I think I'm the kind, like, when people call me the gatekeeper, I think it's just because I play in a style that's really hard for newer players to deal with. Because when I play, like, newer or, like, mid-level players, I'm, like, in their face, just, like, throwing out moves all the time. And they've got to, like, have their defensive options really down pat. And so the kind of thing that I'll do is, because Lucina doesn't get combos, Lucina gets strings.
Yeah.
And so what I'm looking for is I'm looking for a hit and then the most common option. Yeah. And guess what happens when you fight mid-level players and you're looking for the most common option all the time?
They do it all the time.
They just do it.
Yeah.
Because, this is the safest thing. I'm just going to do the safest thing out of your combo every time.
Yep.
And so I'm just going to, and I can keep extending on top of that. And so... Yeah, I don't lose to mid-level players anymore at all.
I mean, it wasn't that free, though, because you did lose to one of the mid-level players that actually beat you. Well, actually lost to 2.
Yeah, so Pillow Talk isn't a mid-level.
Okay.
He's definitely PR quality.
Oh.
I think everybody could probably appreciate that.
They could admit it under duress.
Part of it is matchupping experience, but part of it is that he's actually really, really good at the game.
Yeah, he is.
So, I mean, like, everyone played... Bayo in Smash 4, like there's like not everyone, but a lot of people did.
They'll
get the matchup knowledge.
Yeah.
So people can still remember a lot of that. I didn't get that much. Pillow Talk was the only good Bayonetta that I ever played in Smash 4, and I got to fight him like twice.
Yeah.
So I didn't get a lot of the really good Bayo matchup experience.
But even when you look at things like the difference between Jace's Bayo back in the day and Pillow's Bayo, you would say Pillow's Bayo was like better.
Yeah.
Jace just played the game better in the ways that he would win sets.
100%. So Pillow, I think PT had it was more flowcharty though, and if you could worm your way into that flowchart, then you could beat him. But Jace's was just like, I'm Jace. Like I'm just gonna like do like the cleanest neutral.
If Jace lost with Bayo, he's gonna throw out like the Olimar or the Rosalina next. He didn't mind, but he would read
whatever he wants. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, and then Ryan, I mean, I'll just take the opportunity to talk about this because I think I was going to mention it at some point. As much as like I really think that Ryan was easily top 8 there. Like he was seeded 11th. He should have been seeded higher.
Yeah.
He's a really, really good player. Diddy, and like honestly, like he could have won if this wasn't the case. I'm trying to stay my best away from Johns here.
No, you have to be cocky.
Because he's
you have to
really
give out
good.
this Johns.
But
Hit us with him.
I've historically done terribly against Diddy.
Yeah.
I did in Smash 4, and I have in this game. I've got quite a bit of matchup experience now, but I play Lucina, and I really just I love to run in too much, and
that'll kill you with Diddy.
Yeah, Diddy like eats that alive. And it's. Yeah, it was really rough because I'll like 100% truth. When that day started, I'm like, the person that I want to fight least is Ryan.
Really?
He was seeded 11th. I was seeded 1st.
You were just like,
I just really hope that I don't have to fight Ryan. He was on the opposite side of the bracket. I literally watched his whole projection of where the bracket goes.
Fuck.
No, I mean, like, I studied how the bracket would have had to go on for him to have been in my path. And I'm like, there's almost no way that he's going to get in my path.
Okay.
And so I'm very thankful.
But when you were watching him on the day,
I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake, he beat Princess. And then I'm like, please, Vanessa. And then Vanessa couldn't clutch it out either. And then he was in Grands, and I was just like, well, there's no way I'm avoiding him now, am I?
You reset him. You did quite well.
Yeah, like I'm very happy with that. And
did you figure out some Diddy things?
I think it figured out some Ryan things.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, that's why the Young Link came out. I literally was talking to Aiden beforehand. I'm like, I am so not keen to fight a Diddy if in game 1 I get cleanly beaten, like 2 stocks, even 2 stock high percent or worse, I'm going Young Link. I played Young Link Diddy against Delve a couple times, and I did really well against Delve. When Delve probably beats me more of the time than I beat him with my Lucina versus his Diddy.
Yep.
And then I was like cleanly beating him with my Young Link. So
you're
I'm
I have not a full answer. But
like I don't know if it's going to work in tournament, if it's going to work under the pressure.
Yeah.
But I'm willing to try it because I'm not confident in my Lucina in the Diddy matchup.
Yeah.
However, after I fought Pillow Talk, obviously the things changed where I'm like, okay, maybe Pillow Talk should have been the person that I didn't want to fight the most.
Yeah.
Because Pillow Talk floored me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really didn't want to fight Diddy, and then I ended up doing it, and that's why I brought up the Young Link. And then I barely took that game with Young Link, and he got stage spiked at 60 and died at one point.
And you're like,
so
hell yeah,
I wasn't,
but also hell no.
No, I mean, I'm never
cheering on somebody's SDs or anything
never,
like that.
Like you.
It's hell yeah I won, but hell no I didn't want to win that way.
Yeah, I don't want to get into the spoil one of the Twitter questions later. We can talk about my reaction to Game 5 but later.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was very scared of Diddy, and so yeah, Ryan, as good as he might have been, I think I could beat him if we were playing X character and X character.
Okay.
Not Lucina Diddy.
So what I'm hearing is you think you're the better player, and he just cheesed you at Diddy, and that's that.
No, I think that he plays the character that I'm bad against, and that's just, fair game. I should be better at the matchup.
I'm joking, of course. I don't actually believe that's what you think. But I think that's fair enough. People have those things that stick with them quite a lot. Diddy and especially Diddy is like one of those matchups where like it's like a wall. Once you climb it, you can sort of see how to get up, right? But it's infuriating, and it feels absolutely impossible when you're not able to understand the whole game plan behind Diddy. And the other thing is, playing Diddy doesn't necessarily help you understand the matchup. That's one of the fucked things.
Yeah, I can play Diddy pretty well.
Yeah, but that doesn't help you.
It doesn't help me.
Yeah.
No.
That was one of the things that I picked up Diddy and played it for a bit, and then I started playing against some Diddies, and I'm like, this has taught me nothing. This is actually like... Anyway.
Yeah.
Point is...
Talk to Umko about how beating Diddy. He's like...
No. There are keys to it, but they're hard to explain unless you've felt them. Anyway, the final, Ganon's Advocate. That one, getting Arcadian was free. Second at the Arcadian was free. Pissmas wasn't very fun.
So this is one that is just appalling.
So people don't know.
Put this here.
You ran what I believe was like one of the best tournaments of The
Oh,
decade.
no, I hear it wasn't very fun.
The year.
You know.
No, you believe it's not very fun. That's the point of the thing.
Yeah, like, some people were saying.
What were some people saying?
No one was saying shit. Everyone loved it.
No, you have to argue it. You're gonna think of some sort of flaw.
Yeah, no. Pissmas wasn't very fun because
There was no piss Santa.
It was pretty hot day. So it was quite
so
sweaty.
hot. Oh my god. And you
there
had
wasn't a lot of
setups outside?
room in the venue. We had setups outside. How can anyone possibly enjoy that?
Why it was so hot.
On a
Oh
sunny
my
day.
God.
Oh God, sun. Am I right?
And the wind when it blew.
The wind when it blew, right? And when it gets to that 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock area, then you get reflection on the screen.
That did suck. I will admit.
Yeah. It's a terrible event,
I will
really.
not sarcastically agree with you that one.
There was no
awful.
stream. I don't know how anyone could enjoy a tournament with no stream.
I didn't know there was no stream, but that's just disappointment.
There was gonna be, but Flex ruined everything with his ruining face of his.
Okay, we can blame Flex on that one then.
No, it's Joz's fault.
It's Joz's fault. He ran
Flex
the tournament.
Didn't bring it.
Yeah.
No, actually, Loki brought a stream, and it's Loki's fault.
Loki. You Loki.
Yeah,
no
yeah.
comms.
Julia is just a terrible artist, and just everything promo
All the
that she did
rewards
was
suck.
just terrible.
I don't sleep with the book I won.
Yeah. You don't?
I do. What else?
Yeah, there was no piss gang comms.
There was no jar of piss.
Yeah, no jar of piss. Not everybody got a ripstick.
Yeah, that's a rough one.
How dumb is that?
I would argue that there was only being one ripstick was pretty cool. The rewards were so anchored towards things that weren't pro bracket. It's almost encouraging you to do all the side brackets and have fun with those and care about them.
Yeah, I know, how ridiculous.
You should only care about your performance in pro bracket. That's it. There's nothing left.
100%. Money is the only thing that matters in Smash.
Money and being the best. If not, fuck you, go home.
Yeah. Seriously, though. I don't like anyone else but Shadru.
Yeah. Nah. Honestly, we'll reveal the veil. of Ganon's Advocate. Pissmas was amazing. I loved all of the things that were negatives. I even loved how there was no stream because it added to the flavor of Pissmas, which was everyone who was there was having fun. It was like an exclusive club of just bullshittery and craziness. And the last 30 minutes when people were betting big time was hilarious and hype like nothing else.
Did you see Millis v. Sick Nick?
They were playing the slots for all the marbles. They were going for a spin.
That was so much fun to watch.
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
And people I would never expect just racked up money with not even like smart, intelligent bets, but just like gambling. Jet was one of them.
Jet was so good at it.
Jet made dollary dues.
What did Jet do?
I scammed Sick Nick so hard. He just like would make bets on like silly things. You had a racket going. So, like 5 people had a racket going where they just like. It wasn't even like, oh, I'm so smart, I get them with this trick every time. It's just like, I won the gamble of the 50-50 that is set up in the game. Or you were Battle Dolphin and you were just sitting in the corner playing Squad Strike and just wiping everybody out with it until the actual Squad Strike bracket.
It was awesome.
That was so sick. I can't wait for Peaster.
Yeah. So there's definitely
another one in the works.
Some piss events on the horizon.
Yeah.
However, I don't know. Smash Cash was tons of fun,
Yeah.
but it would be cool to be able to do something different as well.
For sure.
So like, it was so good that I kind of just want to do it again because it's a proven thing.
Yeah.
But I think part of the fun of Pissmas was like just experimenting and going
and doing
like
new stuff.
Yeah, new stuff.
Yeah, I feel like you could do piss dollars without putting so much weight on it. Like piss dollars was one of the core components to all the prizes. But I don't know.
Yeah, we just wanted to focus on the community and on like the celebration of just hanging out and
What
playing
a
Smash.
surprise that when you focus on the community as a whole, that it becomes one of the better events. Even for the top players. I mean, I talked to Shadru and stuff, and they say they love the tournament. Even, that they're not getting as much hype as they would normally.
Yeah, dude, it's so funny. Like, almost no one was watching, like, winners semis, winners grand.
But
like,
squad strike grands?
Yeah. Everybody
crap.
went, oh, Sifo v Ari.
That was insane.
It was so much fun.
Sifo's entire run was insane because it was built off 90% Ganondorf.
Yeah,
Which
yeah,
then
dude.
at the Arcadian when he pulled out Ganondorf against...
Vanessa
Oh my
vs Sifo
God.
was my favorite set.
And the motherfucker, he didn't use one of his tricks for the shield break because he was saving it for the last stock. I reckon that
Oh
would
my
just
goodness.
been super hype if he pulled it. Anyway, yeah, so next is Smash Bash, Royal Rumble side event.
So we
Is that
haven't
like Crash
discussed this
Bash?
at all, so this is just coming out of his ass. But
Okay. Is this Crash Bash? Because that's a real game and that's...
Crash Bash was fun, dude.
But
I
don't-
liked that game.
Don't put it in the tournament.
Right. That was a fun game.
Yeah, but it's Mario Party, right? Sort of. Anyway,
Wait, no, maybe I'm misremembering it.
what are you thinking of?
I don't know.
Crash Bash is like the Mario Party variant of Crash Bandicoot.
I think I did like it. I think I was.
You
good
must have.
there.
It's a
Yeah.
fun game, but I wouldn't want it anywhere near my competitive fun times.
No.
Anyway, no, it's a Royal Rumble WWE style. How is that not clear? Well, considering the fact that people were making bets on what angle the empty can would roll down the slide, I look at WWE Royal Rumble and go, oh yeah, that seems reasonable. That's within the realm of piss gang.
Yeah, we made it so you could literally bet on anything. Like, I mean, we did it.
Yeah.
That just kind of started happening.
I made the
but-
biggest error and walked around like a dog for 2 minutes for like $5 dollars, piss dollars. I was like, I got up and I went, why the fuck did I
Why
do that?
did you do that?
And
That's
really,
worth nothing in the
it was
scale of
running
things.
through my head the entire time that I should stop, but it was my pride on the line that I would do it for the dollars. That shit was fun.
Yeah, and it was everyone's commitment to the bit, like to the Smash.
Yeah.
Bros. Can I just like take a moment to thank everybody that came, that they didn't fuck with the system.
Yeah.
Because we thought
Nobody just gave away their piss dollars.
we thought this through at the start, and we're like, oh man, we're actually leaving ourselves up. Originally, we were gonna do like, we give everyone coin, like real like money and stuff
No.
like that.
Yeah.
And then we just thought it through, and we're like, there's so much room for collusion here, for like cheating.
Yeah.
And so we hid all of the prizes behind like you don't know what the prizes are and
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
like that. Like we showed like, hey,
The
here are some of the
ripstick,
prizes
yeah.
that's gonna happen, but like I mean we didn't tell you how you won them.
Yeah. I'm so glad Brenton and Kenny weren't there for sure.
Well, Kenny would have been so much fun. I don't know what you mean.
They would have colluded.
Oh yeah, Kenny would have cheated.
Yeah, they would have cheated.
Which sucks. Like Kenny, like I love
not
you.
calling
and you would've
Kenny
been
a
so
cheater.
Much, you were so much fun. But you will break the rules if you can.
Yeah.
And Brenton, I don't know. I think Brenton actually wouldn't have.
Brenton
broken
would
the
say
rules.
he would cheat, but then he wouldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Totally.
He would say he'd cheat to scare you, and then you would laugh. Anyway, but yeah, that you had room for
Brenton
error.
might have thrown pulls for the Ami prize if he knew there was a prize for amateurs.
I didn't know there was I
Yeah.
got my score reported incorrectly and didn't make it through pros. I beat Umbrella, but I reported to you that I didn't because that's what I accidentally wrote on the thingo. And then later I was like, oh, because I was looking at my scores later and I was like, I should have reported that correctly. But it didn't matter because it was going to be me or Huawei, and Huawei was so much better. So I was like,
Arguable.
I still think
I
he's-
think Wei is very good. I just think that you're very good.
yeah, but he beat me. And I think that
That doesn't make him better.
I think at the time he was playing better. I had to like lose to be like, okay. And then I recouped and then because the thing about Pissmas is it was so fun that I felt like I had the energy to sort of like take a step back and not put pressure on myself. And I was talking about this a little bit, the Arcadian, is that I felt like a lot of players were putting pressure on themselves to do really well. And I remember I was like, oh, I'm going to do really well at the Arcadian. And I went to a Guff, not the one before the Arcadian, the one before that. And I went 0-2.
Did he just call it Guff?
Oh, Friday Night Smash.
Jet. Did he
FNS.
just call it Guff? Is that okay? Is he allowed to do that?
That's what I've been calling it. Come on, Friday night. I went to Friday Night Smash and I went 0-2. But I remember like in the first game, I was like, holy shit, I have to do well or everything that I've told myself is not true.
Wow.
Yeah, you know.
That's a lot of pressure.
Right? But I was like, as soon as I thought that, I just went, fuck, why did I think that? But I feel like a lot of people might have put pressure on themselves in the Arcadian to do that. But it was
Mate,
one of the reasons that
talking to the person that was seed number 1.
Yeah, right?
I had a lot of pressure on
You
me.
had a fuck ton of pressure on you.
Yeah.
But you still came out on top of it. But one of the things that I loved about Pissmas was that there wasn't that pressure. People were to have fun, and that was the most important part.
Yeah.
And so I felt like once I didn't make it out of pools, I let go of that pressure on Amis, and I just like had so much more fun, and I enjoyed the event so much more because I went into Amis.
And I think the person who embodied that the most was Sick Nick, who is PR.
Yeah.
And he drowned.
Yeah.
And he said it was the
he had
funnest
a
tournament.
great time.
He said it was the best tournament of the year.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was just that spirit of just like, we're in it for the lols, and like, you know, we're just here to have a good time for the community. And yeah, we put a lot of effort into that. And again, I've said it once, I said it again, without Kyle, it wouldn't have happened. Kyle was the real hero behind Pissmas, and I super appreciate everything that he did.
No matter how much you shout him out, doesn't mean that he's going to be on the podcast.
Poor guy. Dude,
it's almost becoming a thing to me to just deny him because he gets so many requests.
So when you announced that I was going to be on the podcast, like when you asked me, I went like, we have a Discord, and I was just going to be like, I just felt I felt bad.
I'm so sorry, Kyle.
I actually felt bad. I'm like, really? I on the podcast before Kyle? Like,
I'm so scared me not being on it's gonna be a bit. It's not. Don't worry. It's just funny for me at this rate. It's not funny for anyone else, but it's just not. You know, I've had a roadmap of where I want people to be on, and Jet was the one who suggested that whoever wins the Arcadian we should have on. That wasn't you. I mean, I don't need to remind you. But I was thinking we should have you anyway. And also, Ryan left like immediately.
Yeah.
But Jet also agreed. He was like, we should have Joel's on because you got pretty much one. You know, I mean, got pretty close, and you had some good reasons as well.
Yeah.
And you're an up and coming player. Like these things all make sense in hindsight, where you're like, oh, why would I be on instead of Kyle? But it's like, you know,
Kyle's the number 1 Tournameta podcast fan.
Yeah. I mean, he's up there. He's up there on my list. But it's so funny to deny him. Someone, if he's got goons, he's not hired anybody, but he's got goons going around being like, you should put Kyle on. Immediately,
he
like,
has friends. He has good friends that don't agree with him on a lot of things, but care about him.
It's people
and want him on here.
I'm not even sure he knows them. They're like new players who are like, they're like, you should have Kyle on, and I'm like, dude, no. Nah, but obviously he's on the list. There's a lot of people on the list. It's a big list. There's like 3 people on the list. So anytime in the near future he could be on. So don't worry about it. Anyway, we're at the next half-hour mark, which means I'd like to move on to the next segment. But I am going to call this moment for a quick break because I'd love to go to the bathroom, get a drink of water. That's about it. Yeah. So... if you guys, did you, Cab, just call me again, and I'll do it again. Go get your refreshments, your yum-yums. We'll be back in a short 5 to 10. I'm looking what the numbers are going to be. Whatever the numbers are, those are the numbers. 5 minutes. All right.
What? 4 minutes 20? What a meme.
And we're back. Welcome back. Hope you got all your snacks and your stuff. I was just talking about how Miller said something funny earlier and I couldn't remember it.
Because I had a good chuckle about what you just said in the chat.
Yeah. This is the podcast. We were on break, Gravy Dice, and I've already mentioned you, and you missed it. You'll have to watch the thing.
How much of a bully is Liam? Like, have you seen their tricoms? I'm not sure if you've seen like their interactions in general, but like Millis bullies the shit out of Gravy Dice for just no reason.
Oh man.
And like Gravy Dice takes it so well. And so Millis is not the kind of guy who would just like shit on someone and then they like, you know, like get quite upset and then he just keeps shitting on them. But Gravy Dice is such a good sport that he's just like Miller's goes savage on him.
It's a really good dynamic when you can build that up, eh?
Yeah, but I mean, just like on Tricoms, Millis was like, so like I was moving into like this new place the other week, and Millis is like, You mean your parents were moving and you were just there? He's like, but I was trying to be cool, Liam. Stop.
That's good. No, it's always awkward when you do that, and then someone's just silent. And you're just like, oh, okay. I feel bad. Mills bullies me too. He bullies me in the group chat. He said shit like, no, he bullies me on Twitter too. He's targeting me when he says shit about Crash Bandicoot. No one else is as like so audible in the way that they love Crash as much as I am.
Yes.
And yet he will post things like, if you like Crash Bandicoot, you're a normie.
Dude, but that was Crash Bandicoot and
livid.
Spyro. It was double whammy on you.
Yeah, but who gives a fuck about Spyro? It was directed at me. The tweets are about
you like
Cat.
Spyro too.
Oh, I don't mind Spyro, but Spyro's for me below Rayman and Doom Guy. It goes Crash, Doom Guy, Rayman. Then I don't really care. But
Right.
I think some people are really good and some people are bad. I don't even think Spyro would be a really good fit.
I don't either.
No, but those are the foremost and only picks you can have. Not when I had them since the beginning. You don't understand. I had arguments with people about what the best Crash game was in Smash 4, and he and I set up bots to vote for Crash Bandicoot when the polls came. I am so angry right now.
So fucked.
Yeah, it was funny as fuck. We were like, oh, dude, Crash is bound to get in. We're the only ones to come up with the idea for bots. Because there was no limit. At first, I was like, who do I vote for? And then I was like, oh, obviously. But yeah, if you are wondering what the best Crash game is, it's 2. And that was the agreed upon. We had arguments. Me and
the remake Crash, all 3 of them.
Yeah,
that was the best.
I don't rate it. Because they don't really know how to do Crash's character design as well. They don't know how especially during the remake, they didn't know how to do things like squash and stretch as much as they did back when Naughty Dog made it. And Naughty Dog, like, you can just look at a frame of Naughty Dog's game and look at Crash, and he's almost always expressing more relatable emotion than the Crash in the remakes. In the Crash in the remakes, he's been made into more of like, look at me, I'm silly. But just look at Crash 1 when he rocks up to the hog. He looks back and he looks at you like, I'm going to fuck this thing. And then jumps on it, goes in a tumble, and then rides it off. And the other ones, he doesn't do that. He's
we
sort
don't
of like...
support bestiality here
We
on
do
the
not.
Tournameta
We
podcast.
absolutely do not. I think it's illegal. I wouldn't be sure.
I've never looked it up.
I haven't.
I don't know what you're talking about,
I have
man.
no knowledge of it.
What's beastie what?
Beast. Crash is an animal already. That's right. But yeah, that's my opinion on the remakes. But I love the fact that they did the remakes. And Beanox is one of the best companies. They've made all the remakes, the Reignited for Spyro, Crash, and Medieval. And people look at like the Legend of Zelda remakes, where they made the remake of that Game Boy game, and it's like, $60 on release. Beanox remakes 3 games in 1 and releases it for $40.
Yeah.
And
they did a great job.
Yeah, they always do a really good job.
We did the thing, though. We went into a Crash tangent.
It was only because we were talking about how Millis is a bully.
And then you just randomly came out with, yeah, but by the way, Crash Bandicoot 2.
Yeah, I did go on my little autism streak.
But yeah, back to the character.
Yeah.
I think it's, for me, my favorite character to play, Young Link, because the combos, and because you can combo from forever away with Young Link. It's so much fun. It's not fun to camp out with Young Link.
No.
Of course it's not. It's not fun to be camped out either. But the fact that you can get Boomerang into Arrow into a combo because you can just combo from so far away, it means you're always able to combo people. It's so much fun. However, and then Robin, I really love the combination of the sword play plus the projectiles.
Yeah.
Just the way same that I like Mewtwo from Smash 4. So Sora is my number 1 pick. I've never played any of the Kingdom Hearts games.
Really?
But I just think Sora would be so much fun to play.
I think you're off your chops. I think there's no way that you would want to have Sora unless you've been a fan of the games, because he's such an annoying character.
Dude, I don't care like how he sounds or whatever. Like, I think that having a Keyblade is a really cool weapon. It's a sword. It's a cool kind of sword.
I did think it was cool when I thought Green Day was cool too.
And then he uses magic. So, like, surely he'll have cool things, right?
Nah, because his magic is cursed. His magic makes, like, Goofy get an erection and then they ride a train in circles and that somehow kills everybody. His magic is actually cursed. Joseph, everyone, you didn't think that this would be the thing that triggered the chat. You think it'd be mentioning Crash again. No.
Dude, no, I think the thing that triggered the chat is that Gravy Dice agreed with me.
Who else? Flex is also a big fan of Sora. I don't get it. I don't get how you can be a fan of those games. I watched them thinking like, oh, I might check this game out. And then I'm like brain blasted by how awful it looks sometimes. The dialogue makes no sense. The only thing that has been described to me that makes me go, okay, it might be worth playing, was when Steven described it to me. He said, you ever watched like a horrible anime, but it's so bad that you're like, I'm into this?
Is that Kingdom Hearts?
That's Kingdom Hearts, apparently. And that's the only reason I could be like, all right, cool. Yeah.
One of my best friends growing up loved Kingdom Hearts, and I played like a good 15 minutes of it before I was like, it's just, it doesn't feel good. I'm not a fan of this.
Yeah. What's wrong with it?
Which is nowhere near enough time.
But now you're like, I want him in Smash.
I want Sora because I want the character. Do you think I've ever played Fire Emblem?
You want Isaac.
I've never played a Fire Emblem game in my life. I play all of the Fire Emblem characters. I like Smash. I just like playing Smash characters.
I don't think many people have played Fire Emblem characters. Certainly not as many people that justify the amount of characters that we have on the roster.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
7.
8 now, dude.
I like looked at the new character. I'm like, this is so disappointing, but at the same time, I'll probably play this character.
Yeah, I thought that when you talked about how you like comboing people from the distance and also having
she doesn't look like she can combo. He or she doesn't look like she can combo people. Well.
I'm not sure. People said that about Cloud when Cloud first came out, and people said Bayo wasn't very good when Bayo first came out. I feel like he might be a character that gets changed a lot because it was 2 months before his official release date that they were showing that off. So a lot can change, and people weren't like, oh, with Cloud you just combo with up air at the release, right? They weren't like, that's an obvious combo move. And you might not even need to combo. You might just like get forward air, and then that's all you need. You know,
yeah, I mean,
80,
the whip has potential. And all the tilts seem like they do lead into at least one other hit.
And that up air looks nuts. Remember that? He's like swinging it up in the air.
Yeah.
That was the first thing that made me go, oh, pretty good. But I agree with a lot of people where they say like he doesn't look like he excels at anything.
Yeah.
That's what
because
Finn said.
I think any character that's slow will never excel at something, like, really. Like, you're like, oh, heavies have never been good. What's the reason? Because they're slow. Oh, guess what the best heavy in Smash Ultimate is? Bowser, because he's fast.
Yeah. But it's also like, heavies have distinct strengths and weaknesses, And I think, we'll see. I don't want to say anything, but I think he might be on the good side. He's DLC. He's got to have a chance.
Yeah, but...
People also didn't think Corrin was going to be very good.
Piranha Plant was DLC, so...
Yeah, but Piranha Plant was like Lucas and Roy DLC.
Yeah, but then there's been like... What are the other characters? Joker, obviously busted.
Terry, kind of busted.
No.
Banjo, kind of busted.
Terry is like mid-tier.
But busted because...
He's not busted.
You get 100, and then you hit 2 Buster Wolves, and they're dead.
Yeah. You just get rage, bro.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. No, he does not seem busted at all.
He seems like Donkey Kong Smash 4 from me a little bit, where they're obviously not good in so many ways, but they just have like one completely busted option.
Yeah. No, they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'd say Donkey Kong and Smash 4 is busted. I wouldn't say that they're really good. But that's the thing about him that, is a giveaway for me that like, oh, maybe something's not quite right, is he doesn't look busted right off the bat. And that's always a sign for me that like something ain't right. Something's like under the...
he doesn't look busted. That's the one sure sign that he is busted,
That's
obviously.
been the case with Corrin and Bayo. Bayo was a little like, oh, okay, you could do that, but clearly you could DI out of that. But Cloud as well, we were like, oh, Cloud's got lag, and he's got a big sword, but he can't combo. DK's still like that, though. Biggest X factor in their cast. We'll prove it, bud.
Yeah, I don't know about that, Tom.
He will.
I think that DK is good. I just don't think he is the biggest X factor in the cast.
He'll prove it, and then we'll believe him.
Yeah.
And then we've also got 6 DLC coming out.
Super keen for that.
Which is obviously like they originally had 5, but then Sakurai was like,
it's weird that they decided to add 6 Soras instead of 5. I'm not sure what the point of that was.
That's what I was about. He said he was like, oh, there's 5 characters that aren't Fire Emblem. I got to stick another one on the end there because they got a new game coming out or something. I love the story that Ari walked home as soon as he saw, or he drove home as soon as he saw
Siffo,
what
yeah. He was at mine. I'm like, stay for the thing, because it was after a piss sesh.
Yeah.
And then he saw it and he was like, I already had next to no interest in what character was coming out, and I now am like vilified in the fact that I had zero interest. Because, yeah, there's just no point. You've been subscribed for 17 months,
That's
Ari?
pretty impressive. That pops up. Joz and Cap are talking about two different people. I was talking about Ari. Ari saw that What is Fire Emblem appeared on the screen, and then he drove home.
Really? Because that's exactly what Siffo did. And he just posted that in the chat, too, that he did that.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Yeah, so...
That's what I heard. That's what I heard, Ari.
Dude, Ari would have done... Like, Ari, he'd seen Fire Emblem.
Am I wrong?
If he'd seen anything else... Ari didn't give a fuck unless it was Funky Kong.
I mashed that by accident.
Lanky Kong, sorry.
I don't even know. I'm thinking about it now that I've heard Lanky Kong and some other like random characters like Shantae and Goku. I'm like, what is not normie at this point? I feel like we've gotten so many characters that are both out there and highly demanded that like there's nothing that's not normie at this point. Like all the ones that are left are like ones that have been demanded for a long
like
time.
I feel like there's just like
Yoshimitsu. That's pretty.
Yoshimitsu
That's
is
pretty
so
good.
sick there.
If we did get a Tekken rep, it has to be Yoshi. I would hate to have Heihachi.
It's not going to be Yoshimitsu,
No,
but
it'll be.
you definitely want it to be Yoshimitsu.
Phoenix Wright. He's already in another game though. He's in Marvel vs. Capcom.
Oh yeah, that's
So
right.
is Monster Hunter though.
Phoenix Wright would be good. It's not. I don't think nothing's normie, except it's. Like, obviously, Goku is normie, but he's ironically normie at this point. And hence why Millis thinks it's hilarious to talk about Goku, because he knows it's only ironically funny.
He's in Smash Flash. No, he's in Smash.
Yeah. Smash Flash
Crusade.
2, right?
Smash Crusade 2.
Is it definitely in Smash Flash 2?
I don't know if he's in Flash, but I know for sure he's in Crusade.
Definitely in Smash Flash 2.
I know
Naruto and Luffy are in there too.
I know Crash isn't in Smash Flash. I'd play the shit out of it. It's in Smash Crusade.
Oh, I haven't even heard of Smash Crusade.
It's like Smash Flash, except just with way more dorky, dumb characters that weren't balanced.
Yeah, it's just a string of these games that are just not big enough to actually develop a community around them, and so you just sadly see them gather dust. Like,
well, I'm pretty sure Smash Crusade has the one with like cursed Luigi who like shoots laser eyes and has a nair that's like a giant invisible blade. Have you seen that one?
Nope.
Okay, well, it's like it's just Ouija, and he like stares and he moves without moving and stuff. Yeah, Ouija. He's like creepy but amazing, super good, like the best character you could imagine. Anyway, we have segments on this podcast, and you've only done two of them,
such.
and so we have to keep the ball rolling here. Let's get right on to the next one, which is one of the other write-ups I do, which is hypotheticaps. How many did I come up with? I came up with 2.
Excellent.
So one's big, as you probably just saw creep onto the screen and then scutter away in fear. I like doing the big ones, but this one's pretty good. You're gonna have to do a shout out to a friend here. So here's the setup. Hypotheticaps is like I give somebody a situation which is a hypothetical, and they're almost always like effed up in some way, just like crazy. Anyway, Here we go. This is the first one. God has decided that this whole humanity thing hasn't quite worked out. Instead of genociding, he decides to transform all the humans so they're more dependent on each other. You have been transformed into a being that is really huge, like 7 to 8 foot. To be able to properly function, however, I mean, that's pretty big. That's like Master Chief size.
You know, when I wake up and, you know,
You're
like before I fall for a pee.
No, your height.
Yeah.
Your height.
Right.
To be able to properly function, however, you need to choose somebody who will be shrunk down to live in your new kangaroo-like pouch. Not only do they live with you in that pouch for the majority of your life, but whenever you have health problems, they have to run inside you and fix you up like a mechanic on a ship. Who do you choose?
What?
And let's you know, give a little more context. Their health problems are like
Dude, 7 to 8 foot is not big enough to have consistent
they get shrunk
health
down.
problems.
They get shrunk down.
Yeah, so they're in trouble.
Yeah, they gotta like ride elevators.
I've got to help them out. They're in my pouch for a reason. I'm protecting them.
So you gotta protect them, but also when you know you're having sex and then like the sperm gets jammed in your urethra, you need someone down there like get the clog unclogged.
I'd be crushing them.
What do you mean, your pouch?
Yeah, while I'm having sex, like that's not.
No, they can go inside. There's like a little tunnel in the pouch that leads. You're like,
I'm like,
sort
don't
of,
watch. Go inside for a bit.
You're like a fleshy robot. They're probably going up to where your eyes are. But you know, they might not watch. They might like. Maybe they got a little fleshy TV on the inside.
Dude,
of your...
it's definitely Aiden though.
I love how you knew.
It's 100% Aiden.
That's good. I'm glad you knew who you wanted. So,
like, oh my god, dude.
Do you trust Aiden to like help you out with all the possible problems you could run into?
No. But it'd be so funny.
Just to force her to do that. You have the power to shrink him down and be like, you live in my pouch now. I didn't think about that. When I thought about this, I thought you would pick someone like, I love, you know, my best friend.
No.
Suck it.
Aiden just, he's so ironic. Like, he's funny in this way that's almost indescribable.
Yeah.
He's like someone that you laugh at but love.
Yes.
Like and so like you want to laugh at him at like a good chunk of the time, but you want to laugh like in a ratio that's like, no, I still love you.
Yeah, it's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like cuz Aiden's like a really nice guy, but he goes out of his way to do like these stupid bits and to be like he's purposely silly.
Yeah, make fun of himself a bit.
And he didn't really. That didn't start really coming out until he started living at Piss House. Till he started hanging, like growing comfortable with us a lot more. And he is so funny, but you need to be around him for a good portion of the time. I think Lunchy was hanging with us at Shitashi's after the Arcadian.
Yeah.
And man, like we were just in tears to Aiden's like commentary over we were playing Plague Inc. As like a collective while we're all drunk.
Yep.
And we were in tears over his commentary over the game, and Lunchy is just like, what is happening? Like, how is this funny? Like, we just had no idea whether he was being serious or not. Like,
that's the thing with him. Hey, like I get that. Like, there's a bit of like, oh fuck, that's funny. But sometimes I'm like, oh, that was a joke. Like that was the butt of the joke, and I'm just like, you motherfucker, you were gaming me this whole time.
Dude, like his favorite bit in the house, he lives right next to the toilet. Mm-hmm. Like so his room, like the door opens and the toilet is like just on the left.
Yep.
So and he's normally chilling on his computer with the door open so he can see directly outside as people are walking to the toilet. So his favorite bit is to just see how long he can distract people from going to the toilet.
That's so good.
So he'll just talk to you for like 5 minutes. You're like, no, I really need to go. He's like, wait.
That's genius. Oh my God.
And so one time we were drunk and at Piss House, and I stopped him from going to the toilet for half an hour. I just kept him talking, and I'm like, I got you so hard.
Oh, that's brilliant. Oh, you fool. You've just spread that on the podcast. There's going to be so many people doing this bit now. We're going to be a Friday night, and there'll be like a piss tsunami because people are going to be busting.
Oh,
that's good, though. That's good. Everyone take note. That's genius. That's truly genius. All right, so you'll have Idento.
So Aiden generally will do stuff for you as well. Like, I'll ask him to help me out, and he's usually the one to
unclog your urethra if you need it.
Yeah. So, but then it would just be so much fun to have him to play off. Also, his favorite manga is One Piece.
Oh, right.
We'll get to the Twitter question at the same time, but we found like this ultra mega niche thing that we both love, and so it was just an automatic kindling of our friendship. Like,
that's beautiful. Yeah,
and
that's
so
like
me and Aiden have grown a lot closer since he's joined Piss Gang.
When you find that one thing, you're just like, sweet, I know I'm gonna like this guy.
Yeah.
So you'd have him inside. You trust him to do the things they need to do, but also I imagine like he's gonna like play like pranks on you while he's inside you.
Yeah, and it'd be funny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be good.
I wouldn't mind.
You'd be like having a conversation with somebody, and he'd just like slowly move your eyes, going cross-eyed.
I'm like, hold on, I'm not able to see this person anymore.
Yeah. Anyway, on to the next hypothetical. God decided that last change didn't work out. And wants humanity to be closer to nature. After freeing you and your chosen partner, Aiden, from the fresh hell that he created, he gives you a choice about your next change. He says you will have your old body, but you have to choose whether you will penguin slide wherever you go from now on. Like, it works like a real penguin, or frog hop. And it works like a real frog. Like, you can hop like huge distances for your size, or you can just go like hella speed. Like, I reckon proportionally, you'd be able to go at like 20 k's an hour almost with penguin slide.
So I guess I have two different answers immediately to this question. The immediate answer is like, if it was this world with these physics, with friction and like the ground, it's like clearly everyday frog. Like it's just like so free frog. However, if you're talking about in this reality that God is like changing humanity and nature and stuff like that, what are the limits of this penguin thing? Because they could actually be like a huge boon.
We're talking like anime styles of like taking your power to the next level.
Yeah. Because if your like penguin stomach thing was so good that just friction didn't actually matter, you could just like, whenever I die, friction doesn't exist, so I can just keep going. Then you're talking like a real competition.
We're not talking no friction, but we're talking like everything is like a slippery slide wherever you go. So you go a good like, I want to say like 100 meters on a single slide. If you're on straight land with no like obstacles, right?
Right, but then stairs come up and you're like, ha ha.
Yeah, but you can still go upstairs sliding. Or downstairs, and you don't
You've
feel
lost
like
me. Like, how are you going upstairs sliding?
it's just like sort of like a skateboard going upstairs. You're faster than somebody.
Like a skateboard going upstairs, because
No, the
skateboards don't go upstairs, Cat.
A skateboard going uphill, rather. All right, fair call.
That's what I'm talking about. Obviously, a penguin could slide uphill, but a penguin could not go upstairs.
No, but like your belly is like penguin belly. It's like round and it's sort of like invulnerable. So there's a level of invulnerability. You're gonna die if you get stabbed and stuff, and it'll feel like you're going upstairs, like bonk 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 bonk. But you can just go tuk, 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 up the stairs.
I don't know the way physics works. I don't
Look. God is changing people into animals. I think physics went out the window a little while ago.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. It's pretty flexible. But like, I consider these things close to even. I think frog hop's pretty goddamn good, but you gotta hop around like a frog.
Yeah, look, like if that's the thing. Like when everybody's hopping around like a frog, like civility and like what looks good is out the window. Yeah. Everyone else is doing it. Who cares?
That's true. Yeah, there's people like going around like slugs.
Yeah, like
unlucky.
I don't really care like about like the way that if I had to hop like a frog, there's certain advantages to that. I'd be okay with that. As long as like eventually maybe I want to settle down, find a Miss Frog. Like,
that might be tough.
Yeah. Like because they're like, oh, that's the frog guy. Like, I'm like, come on, bro.
Yeah,
if I was like, the penguin,
but you're the slug guy. Like slug. Yeah, whatever.
Slug. Yeah.
There's so many awful animals you could get given.
Yeah.
Centipede. Ugh.
I could just pretend I'm like a prince deep down. If I was the frog. Whereas
that
penguins
could be
just
your
don't have
pickup
that.
line at the bar.
Mind you, I have seen Happy Feet, and
they got some slide powers, dude.
May have to change my position just based on that movie.
What's the movie with the surfing penguins?
It's like some pretty corny name, like Surf's Up or something.
It is.
Yeah.
I think it's Surf's Up.
Yeah.
That is probably the superior penguin
movie.
ability.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one.
Anyway.
Like Happy Feet isn't the best movie of all time, but it's like it's a feel good movie.
Wombo combo. That's right. Yeah, so Happy Feet's probably better. That Surf's Up was actually like atrociously bad as far as I remember, but it's funny because it's bad. That was one of the first movies that I remember watching, being like, "Oh, this is a bad movie."
Well, penguins
I
do
didn't know
actually live
movies could be bad.
in Hawaii, from what I know. Like
Yeah.
they migrate down there.
They don't surf though.
Nope.
No.
Oh, they probably
Maybe.
I've seen
On surfboards?
documentary. No. Okay. I've seen documentaries of like them in actual like regular habitats, and they do like use the waves to get in quicker and stuff like that.
What's your favorite part of Happy Feet? Mine was Robin Williams.
Dude, it's like you're barking up the wrong tree. I saw that movie once.
All I remember is Robin Williams did a funny accent. And that's it.
God, I miss Robin Williams.
Yeah.
Mrs. Doubtfire is just such a classic.
Yeah. Have you seen all that stuff about him doing Aladdin? Like he didn't want any royalties and stuff.
No?
Oh, so like his only deal for doing the genie in Aladdin was that like they couldn't monetize it or something. I can't remember the details, but he deliberately like made it so that they couldn't make a butt ton of money off of merchandising with the genie, because he wanted it to be all about like for the kids and stuff. And that's what his main goal was. And so he set it up so that Disney couldn't like just profit the absolute shit out of it. And it makes you go, oh, because it was so great. And then they, made Will Smith the next one. And I haven't seen that one, but I didn't get
like there's no one can replace Robin
Yeah, it was
Williams.
such a hard job to step up to.
But I mean, I saw trailers for it, and I was like, "Oh, Will Smith is bringing something new to this." Like that seems like that it probably has its funny moments.
Yeah. Also, Flubber, that's up there.
Flubber, yeah, Flubber's sick. Definitely, I wouldn't say underrated. Maybe it is critically underrated. I was a kid. So.
My mum is a teacher. She's a kindergarten teacher, and she saw Flubber, and then knew that kids loved Goo and Flubber beforehand, and so she made she put it in her classrooms every year from now on, that she makes something and she always calls it Flubber, and the kids go crazy for it even if they've never seen it. They're like, "What's Flubber?" And she's like, but yeah, no, I love that movie. And the one serious one he did with Matt Damon.
He did a couple of them, and they were all quite good. Like, I mean, you could just feel his real life depression coming through when he does those ones. And you're like, oh, okay, this guy is not just a kids movie actor. Like, he is serious.
One of the few like almost superstar people who was very much deep down a human being, and like you can't say that about a lot of the people who are super famous.
One person that I really just don't like, I don't fully understand, is Jim Carrey. Like, because of the method acting. Like, he's a crazy person, but he's also like, he seems sad when you see him in real interviews.
Yeah, no, I worried for him because he's like separated from I feel like where he belongs is just like constantly making so many people happy.
Yeah.
Like he does it in his movies, but it almost seems like in his real life, like you said, he's like sad. Like he doesn't get to do that as much, where he gives people a lot of joy.
It's almost like he prefers living in someone else, and like he uses acting as a way to escape his real life.
Yeah.
So it's kind of fucked.
It is, right? That's what I'm saying.
It's super sad.
But we get a lot from him. Bicentennial Man, that one was nuts. That's it's like almost not a movie. It's just like the story about how he's like a helper robot, and then he slowly turns into a human, and then the only way that he can get it certified to be a human by law, spoilers by the way, is that if he makes himself like immortal, like it gives himself the ability to die, and he only gets registered as a human being after he dies. That's the sad part. But he like gets a wife, and he constantly makes steps to try and be more human.
Okay.
Yeah, it's effed up, but it's really, really good.
Yeah, there was another movie that he did that was like this something like, it has like sunny in the word or something. It's like The Sunny Side or something, and it's like a really depressing movie. They like go to this
it's not a movie.
To this beauty pageant, like, and it's like a heartbreaking movie that's also feel good, and it's a really real movie, and it's just amazing. I love the movie.
I'm depressed now talking about Robin Williams and how great he is. I should be full of joy, but I miss him so bad. So we'll move on to the next segment.
Society.
That's another one. The one I'm trying to remember, I still can't remember. It's all about Matt Damon, and there was a funny story behind it, so I was going to keep it positive. where Matt Damon and the other big actor wrote it together, and they sent it around to a bunch of different people who like production companies and stuff like that for them to read it and be like, okay. But the catch was the end part of the film. They wrote a homoerotic scene between the counselor, who was Robin Williams, and the main character, which was Matt Damon. And all but one production company caught up on it and said, "Hey, I love the script, but this is a little funny. This doesn't seem right." Like, not because it's
when did it come out? Like
homoerotic
or something?
ages. No, there's like not because it's homoerotic, but because it was Good Will Hunting. Just because it seems so unmotivated in the plot. Everyone else just went, "Yeah, great movie. Let's make it, guys." And they were just like putting it in there to test if you've actually read the script.
Right.
Yeah, Good Will Hunting. It's super good. Yeah, I mean Ice Age with the little baby. Ice Age.
Who did he play in Ice Age?
Nobody, I don't think. It's Sifo. I don't trust anything he says.
Definitely Sifo's show.
Anyway, so I want to keep the segments rolling. We also still have Twitch and Twitter questions that we want to do, and also a secret segment that you will know once I announce it, but everyone else gets to hold tight and see what it is. But first one we're going to do is Twitter questions. I zoned out for a bit. Can I ask how on earth we're talking about Ice Age? Because the Ice Age baby is the new big meme, everybody. Anyway, so Twitter questions. If you want to ask Twitter questions, we announce who's going to be on the podcast before they get on the podcast. And you have an opportunity to log on to Twitter, follow Tournameta at tournameta.com.au.org.edu. And you can ask your questions when the time comes. And if they are good questions and lots of people give them little pinkies and hearts and stuff, then we will read them on the podcast. Anyway, the first one that we're reading out looks like it's going to be Sad Hours, a.k.a. Finn. Did you know if Ryan is shielding, you can grab him? 17 likes on that one.
Yeah. So
that's a bit rough.
I went into How I Suck in the Diddy matchup before, and I am totally open to taking any tips on this matchup. I guess what happens is that I'm really afraid of landing anywhere near him, and the only way that I imagine that I'd grab a Diddy is by tomahawking him. And I'm just terrified of getting Banana out of shield before I even get the grab out.
Yep.
So, yeah, I understand that was probably the case. I went for a few shield breakers that just didn't work because he didn't shield.
Yeah.
But, like, it's just, it's a very scary thing to do, to land right next to Diddy without using a move. Using a move is actually worse because obviously he can throw Banana out of shield, so he can react to the fact that he's hit you feed his shield. But yeah, I guess I didn't do that enough. I have watched it back, but I haven't watched it like specifically looking for that. I watched it after I saw that. I was like, I need to go back and watch this, but I just got caught up in the commentary. I just was listening to Kyle and Tom and Millis. Tom and Millis being very drunk.
I love hearing
and like it was a lot of fun to listen to. And so I do want to really analyze that and see where I could have got better. But yes, I did know that if he can shield, that I can grab.
That's part of the game.
It's not me.
He doesn't even have to shield, really. He could just be there.
Yeah. I got a couple grabs on him, but obviously I specifically remember I didn't grab him a lot. So
one of the things I know about Diddy when he's got the banana is that there's a certain range where it's unreactable when he throws it.
Yes.
And so my goal with some characters, if they have, the only thing is I can't see Lucina being able to do this, is that you go to the far screen or the long screen and you try and make them throw banana so that you can take it out of their play, because they are most threatening out of shield. You pressure their shield, they've got a multitude of options. They've one of the most biggest assets of options when you peck their shield, because they'll be able to throw it at you.
Yeah.
Item throw bypasses the shield drop. Yes, that's insane.
Something that we were recently made aware of. Which is completely crazy. So even Seb Pro, who's a Rob main in top 10 AU, didn't know
that
until I talked about it on comms on Friday.
Yikes.
Yeah.
I know Shadru, whenever he's playing against the Diddy, one of the things is you can pick things up by pressing the move, they changed something, so it's a lot easier to pick up Diddy Kong Banana while it's like in the air and stuff.
Yeah,
so
when you
Shadru
use a move, yeah.
will like run away and then just spam,
Spam down tilt,
tilt,
yeah.
which is hilarious to watch. But I think that's kind of part of the strategy for some people is like when Diddy has banana, you have to respect him, which is why when Diddy's pulling banana, you really have to pressure him so that he can't get it for free. But that's
yeah, I caught the banana a lot
Yeah.
in the set actually, but I think my use of banana is pretty lacking. But
Yep.
Lucina doesn't have the best throw. Her throw is like decent.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess with just side B to use as a B move, like when I've got
You can't
the
just
banana,
hold on to it, no.
Yeah, and side B is probably is a good neutral tool, but it's my least safe neutral tool.
Yep.
So when I only have either my least safe neutral tool or an average throw, it's like I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
So I didn't use the banana like as well as I could have. I need to lab out a few things with items, I think.
I mean, if you know you're not using it well and you recognize that, you should just throw it away.
Yeah, see, throwing
That's
it
what I tell people who play against
throwing
Rob.
it up, I think, is better than
Yes.
just throwing it off the side.
Yeah, because then they're just going to pull another one.
But
But yeah, throwing it into an inconvenient situation.
yeah.
Yeah.
But then it just feels like he just gets it back, and you're just like, oh.
Yeah. I mean,
Don't.
that's the thing, though.
Force him into the corner with the banana. This is what I'm thinking
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now. I'm
Yeah,
just theory crafting. If I force him into the corner, using the banana to pressure him there, and then throw the banana away. So now I've got him in a good position.
Get him in between him and the banana.
If he pulls a banana, I can come all the way in.
Yes.
So maybe that's a good idea.
You keep the banana into a situation that you can then pressure the next banana pull. Yeah, kind of like when you get rid of Rosalina's Luma, you're not getting rid of it so that you got 13 seconds to play. You're getting rid of Luma so that you can then pressure Rosalina as Luma comes back. Because half of Rosalina's game is protecting Luma. Like half of Diddy's game is using the banana to pressure.
Yeah.
Anyway.
One last point. Miller's just pointed out, let it sit on the ground. There was one point where he mentioned this on comms where it was in almost the perfect spot on the ledge. And like I just hit him off.
Yeah.
And then my automatic reaction was, I got to pick up the banana.
Yeah.
But the banana was mine already and it had been sitting on the ground in the right spot. And so because I picked it up, now I can't sit it down on the ground again because it dies after the second time it's hit the ground.
Yeah.
And so I just threw it, and it was basically just like giving up the perfect setup for banana, for no reason. So I should have just left it there, and I totally agree with Mills on that one.
I hate that there's a perfect spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It covers like 4 options. It's so dumb.
Yeah, but it's definitely true. Like, that's probably one of the best applications of bananas if you can just throw it on the ledge. And the best thing about that is that it's so easy. The only thing is that it's rare that you will have the opportunity to have banana, then be at ledge, and also the Diddy Kong's recovering.
Yeah, most of the time when you grab banana, it's got only one charge, and so you can't put it in that spot.
Exactly.
Because it'll just die.
Anyway, you've got a lot to think about, but like you said, you're open to the feedback. So if people want to give you shout outs.
Anyone ever give me tips, I'm totally down.
So Finn, don't make remarks, okay, that he can grab. You could just tell him to grab in his DMs.
Yeah, I don't care either way.
Yeah. Next up, 11 likes. Serene. I'm almost definitely not pronouncing
no idea how to say it either.
correctly.
Yeah.
And I almost think that they might enjoy the fact that I don't know how to pronounce it.
Like
Seren.
Negama, Nejima.
All taken all. Seren. Negama. Yeah, no.
How do you think the Arcadian has/will affected the Queensland scene?
Yes.
I don't know why he threw in so many slashes, past, present tense.
Well, just in case you were.
But anyway, so this is something that because I was so focused on like my run and also running the tournament that I wasn't able to really pour a lot of effort into. So I guess to really extrapolate on that answer, it's like I think that the Arcadian will matter a lot for the Queensland scene if the people in the community were looking out for the newcomers.
Yeah.
If the people in the community were sitting down and being like, yeah, you can play friendlies with me.
Absolutely.
And talking to them about the game And one thing that I really like to do is whenever someone's behind me, I'm like, oh, hey, do you want to play some friendlies? Like, do you want to jump into the circle? Unless I have 3 people. I hate 4-man rotations.
Yeah, they're not real. That's just doubles rotations to me.
Yeah. And so, like, and then they'll sit down, I'll be like, I'll introduce myself. Usually I'll use my real name and then be like, oh, I'm Jaws.
Yep.
And then they'll immediately feel more comfortable because they know, oh, yeah, my name's Tim. My tag is Butt Muncher.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, how long have you been playing Smash for? Like, you just use these simple questions and it makes them feel more comfortable. And then I like talk about their main. I'm like, try and say like something like funny about their main because they usually
there's always a meme.
These people.
There's always a meme.
These people don't get to talk about Smash with Smash players that much.
No.
So they relish it. Like you give like if someone who has worked up the courage to come to a tournament the chance to talk about Smash, and that is exactly what they're looking for.
Yeah.
They want to. They really like the game enough that they're willing to come out and like and integrate themselves. So you give them a chance to talk about it, and they'll pour out their soul to you. Like and that immediately makes them keener on coming back. Always make sure to ask people if they're okay to give them advice.
Yes.
Like
some people get really angry.
Yeah. Like
that's
triple
understandable.
3-stocked someone on Friday, and I was like, oh, good games, man. That was a bit unfortunate. Like.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and he's like, yeah, like I just don't know how to go backstage. I'm like, do you mind if I give you a few tips? And then he said, oh yeah, I'd love some, and so forth. So as long as people were, doing that kind of thing, I think that it'll have a really, move on effect. Like it'll have like a ripple effect in the scene. And also, they need to know about the existence of FNS, of TNF, of their local scene,
of Discord.
So it relies
of the
entirely
Facebook pages.
on people having talked to them as they came.
Yep.
And so I hope that everyone did.
I'm so happy you give a shit about that.
Yeah.
Because it's a symptom of, I don't want to say PR players. I want to say people who are competitive, that they have to, in order to stay competitive, focus on what's in front of them, right? They have to be like, okay, how can I go into the system that does PR? How can I go into the system of tournaments, and how can I win, right? And they're focused on that, and they're focused on making that system fair. They're focused on making that system like a proper representation, and they're doing the right things for that system. I'm not saying that that's wrong in any way, but along the way of that and making things really competitive, they forget that Smash is really unique in the way that all of its fans almost are also players. And so that your community that only like allows you to be in it through its competitiveness and like the high levels is because there are people below you who enjoyed the game enough to come and lose. And that's way tougher than going and like getting super high. Like, yeah, that's really fun, but it's super depressing to go like 0-2 and not find anybody you like and not talk to anybody and then just go home. Like that kills the scene. And then you lose what you have at that high level if you let that happen too much.
Exactly. And then it just slowly dwindles and everything. So
it's good that you're up there and also caring about the new players.
Yeah, no.
That's super rare.
I definitely value it a lot, and I wasn't able to do it because I was focusing on running the tournament and competing at the top level. So I wasn't able to play friendlies, like to practice, like because I was just running around like Headless Chook mostly. I did get maybe like, I don't know, 15 minutes of friendlies in before double started, but that was the only friendlies that I played.
Yeah.
Because there was just a lot of things going around, and I approached a few, like there was parents with their kids, and I walked over and I'm just like, hi, is it your guys' first time?
Yeah.
They're like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like, here's the etiquette. Like, so, it's usually about like 3 players to a setup, and you guys can just jump on any setup. Like, don't worry, everyone's really friendly and blah, blah, blah. And you need people that are willing to do that in order to like make everyone feel welcome. And to
I mean,
the scene.
it's certainly easier to do in the weeklies and the smaller tournaments, like in your own regions, because you can like have time to focus on that. It's super tough to do in a big tournament because you're not going to hit everybody. But that's why you need as many people as possible who are like going through the movements of making sure that everybody feels welcome in their own way and like giving the experience that you would want to have when you first came into the scene.
Exactly. And Jace did that really well for me. Jace was a really good proponent of that, and as much divisiveness came out of the whole Jace thing towards the end.
100%, he was
very, very good at welcoming new players.
Yeah.
And he always looked out for that kind of thing, and I really appreciate that in him.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can probably move on.
Kanu and Jace did that for me. Yeah, there you go. Being there when Joz explained to someone's mum the origin of Piss Gang was a highlight. I wish I was there. I can't believe that.
That was Spam Mum.
Okay.
Yeah, Spam. I explained the origin of Piss Gang to Spam Mum.
Did she like it?
Yeah, I got a few good chuckles. I've mastered the story of Piss Gang to telling to normies now.
Real quick, before it gets deleted, Levi had a big message of always trying to keep up. Thought about taking the courage to come to an event and giving them the chance to really talk to people about something they're passionate about. Really great stuff, Joss.
Yeah.
Thanks. Just he put a lot of effort into that. I didn't want him to miss out on that. But yeah. So the origin of Piss Gang is one of the questions here. The origin of Piss Gang, or maybe we want to save it, or explaining it to people. Do you want to just do it now?
Yeah, we can do it now. So basically, we were having the sessions, like I've talked about, like how we do Thursday night practices, which anyone is welcome to. Just DM me in Discord.
Looks like I'm coming.
Well, yeah, you've always been invited.
Well, last time I was actually going to go, but Ben tricked me by saying he was going to pick me up on the way, and I didn't catch on. He was joking because he was in Melbourne, and then
no, he wasn't joking. He was planning on coming, but he ended up deciding to stay in Melbourne an extra week.
Okay.
That's what happened.
Well, I was just sitting there on my hands like, Ben hasn't messaged me today. But yeah.
So we have this Thursday sessions. I'd been having them with Ari at Ari's place, through the last 6 months of Smash 4. And so when Ultimate came around and you had people like Weeb and Omta come back into the scene.
Yep.
We invited them because you're Sunny Coast, we have sessions, you should come to them. And so we kept doing that for a while, and then Bam started up. Sweaty Boys Sweaty Boys were probably around the same time Piss Gang came out actually, but that was happening, and I'm like, crews are coming back.
Yep.
And I'm like, I really want like this Thursday sesh to turn into my friends. We should make a crew. And so I was really keen, and I was like pushing for it. At the same time, Delve had his own idea of that.
Of crew.
So he was talking because Ari was in Slay at the time.
Yeah.
And I both me and Delve had separate conversations with Ari, being like, "Hey, we should start this. We should start a crew."
Yeah.
And Ari was like, to Delve, he literally said, "No, we can't do this. I'm too loyal to Slay." And then I came to him and I'm like, "No, we should do this crew thing." And he's like, "Actually, maybe we should." Because we'd been friends a lot longer than him and Delve had, so he's not just gonna up and abandon Slay for the guy he's only known for a month or so.
Fair calls.
But because I was suggesting it and pushing for it, and then Kyle and Tom were highly against it. Highly against
Really?
the whole idea of a crew. They're like, it's exclusive. It makes people feel left out. I hate the idea of it. And I'm just like, I'm like, no, we need to we can make it non-exclusive. We can you don't have to be selective with who you have.
It doesn't have to be a clique.
it doesn't have to be a clique. It doesn't have to be like about player skill.
Yeah.
It just can be just about friends and stuff like that.
It's pointlessly exclusionary.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, no, I just want to. We're already hanging out as a group.
Yeah.
That's a kind of exclusionary. It's not exclusionary, but what we're doing is already a crew.
Yeah.
Except that we haven't put a name on it, and we don't get to play in crew battles. I'm like, if we put a name to this, we can play in crew battles, and I want to play in a crew battle because I love crew battles.
How do I join the non-exclusionary piss gang?
You got to just come to a piss sesh. Just hang out with us.
Yeah,
like,
more piss sessions. The
obviously, we're not just going to be like everybody's piss gang at heart. Like come on.
Like you can't just. You have to associate.
Yeah. Like we're not just going to like.
Then there's no barrier to entry except for the fact that you got to show up. You have to.
Miller's just spelled it out. One. Come to Thursday at least sometimes, and then don't be in other crews.
Because don't be lame.
Yeah.
Well, I can't be in Piss Gang. I'm in Cum Squad 2016.
And that's okay, you know.
Yeah, but I'll still show up to your sessions.
But that happened. We were in the Discord. We're like, I think we finally got. I think Ari was on board at this point, and Kyle. Idolizes the shit out of Ari. So if Ari says something, this is why I talked to Ari first. Cause I'm I know if I can convince
Ari on board, everybody's
gonna fall. So Kyle and Tom were like, actually, you know what? Cruise is a good idea, man, because Ari likes it. Like, and then
boys in the chat getting rowdy.
No. This isn't quite what happened. Okay, but like that was the mentality that I went into with that.
That was your plan.
Of attack.
But I think Ari
they were still like kind of against it. But we were coming up with names that because I'm still pushing it hard, and then. I couldn't think of anything good. No one could think of anything good. Miller says piss gang. Like, we should call it piss gang as a joke.
Yeah.
And we're like, that's really funny.
But let's think of a real name.
And then by the end of the day, we couldn't think of a real name. We had a Discord chat that was specifically for our little friend group. But Kyle was like, well, I'll just call the Discord piss gang.
Yeah.
Because, he thought it was really funny, which it was. And then, and it was also like slightly to annoy me because I'm like, piss gang cannot be the name.
Yeah. But you.
Yeah.
You came around to the truth.
Oh, I did. Super hard. But yeah, so we called it piss gang, and then we just still couldn't think of any better names, so we just stuck. And then I think it really took off when Millis made the Piss Gang shirt and came in, and we just started going Piss Gang like all the time,
like a real gang.
And then it just went all through.
That's beautiful.
I'm not sure what Millis is saying that. No, I said that.
Yeah, I'm picking up possibly that the lore of the origins of Piss Gang could be a little shaky based on the different perspectives of how events were interpreted. As Umter and Weber obviously like, no, we didn't come around because of that. And Miller's trying to steal your lines, saying that he said that. But I think, we'll have to straighten it out when we get the Miller's podcast coming on.
Yeah, well, okay. I really pushed to make the crew a thing, and it became a thing, and then all of a sudden... Millis was just like the only one that he's like, oh, Millis is the leader of Piss Gang. It's like, you know how much work how much convincing I had to do to get people on board of the crew. And he did come up with the name and he embodied Piss Gang. And like, Millis is the leader of Piss Gang. However, I put in a lot of work to make it happen. And I get frustrated.
Not a lot of thanks that you would need. Yeah. I think the series of events is definitely true. And that the details of what people might get hung up on. But I feel like you've done a fantastic job, you all have in Piss Gang, of actually making the crew that you wanted to have, which is it doesn't feel exclusionary. When I go to Pissmas, I feel like I'm part of the crew, even though I'm not part of the crew. It includes me, even though I'm not part of it. I'm not doing the things that all the other Piss Gang does, but I'm there, dude. Somebody was an honorary member for like -1 days. That was BD. He got the certificate. That shit was hilarious. The president, secretary, and treasurer. Liam is the trust fund owner. But yeah, You guys have done a great job. I love that the origins is that it was just funny, because that's the best names, is that you just go Lamau.
Yeah.
Seems like there's a lot of those ones.
I think part of the charm was that Ari just refused to say piss gang for the longest time. And so we all just love it.
That's good. Why can't we agree on anything ever? Weeb.
So for like a good portion of when I first met Carl, I did actually think that he really didn't like me.
Oh.
It was after a little while I'm like, oh no, we just disagree on everything.
Yes.
Like, but I think he still respects like me as a person.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't think that I'm, like an idiot or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, we just happen to not see eye to eye. And it's just like with a lot of things, there's a few things that we share interest in, like, I really like Moe anime. I don't watch too much of it, but
Gross.
like I can appreciate that kind of thing. And he loves the shit out of it. But it just seems like all of his opinions, like the fact that he plays Rob and Snake and I play Lucina and like Mario and stuff. He's like, Mario is like the worst character in the game, like to fight. And like, it's just, we're just different kinds of people.
But Kyle, I think, you've said it. He's one of those people that like you can disagree with him, but you can still get along with him.
Yeah.
Just because you have disagreements doesn't mean anything on a relationship.
I think at first it was a lot of face value things with Carl. Like I was like, oh man, like I get that he doesn't, I don't feel like he hates me, but like, man, like it feels like everything that I say, he immediately just is like, no, you're wrong. And I'm like, oh man, just like, he must like really dislike me, but he's just not afraid to say his opinion.
Yeah.
And neither am I. And so like, because of that,
you both sort of butt heads a little
bit.
Yeah. But not in an angry, aggressive, pull down the world kind of way, is it?
No, it's not. And so, yeah, in the end, I've seen a lot of softer sides of Carl. Like, I know that he really cares for his friends and that he does a lot behind the scenes. And I think Pissmas and making Pissmas was a huge bonding moment for, like, I haven't heard Carl's side of the story, but for me, Carl was like a really, really good friend when it came to making that. And like, I saw a lot of his heart for the community and for for his friends and for like, just Queensland Smash in general. And it like, that really moved me. And like, I was like, oh, this guy's like really solid bloke.
Yeah.
Like, I really like
You
Carl.
bonded over the things that you share that the most important.
Yeah.
That's the thing that would bind me to anybody. I'm like, if you care about the scene, like that's it, dude. I have enormous respect for you because
he cares about he doesn't even like Smash that much.
No.
He just likes the people and the community and the whole the whole thing. And that's what I like too.
What a boat to be in.
Smash.
Yeah. You like Smash. I'm a little towards along Kyle's side where Smash is like grinding me down, but I love the community. And yeah. Anyways, enough sucking his dick. He's a bitch. What was going through your head in the closing moments with your sets against Lush, Fly, and Ryan, especially with Ryan SD to get Grand Finals reset from Mittens?
So I think we've talked about Lush, but I'll quickly mention closing moments. Game 5 was actually a little bit like my-sided. I think there was a game in there where I had a huge comeback. I think it was Game 3.
Yeah.
That I was like very like oh my god, like he's about to like 3-0 me or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh crap, like this is about to be very real. But Game 5, I think I 2-stocked him. No. So
he was bringing it back. I watched Game 5. It was the only game I caught.
He did it. He almost brought it back, and then he F-smashed like an idiot.
Yes.
He did only covered roll.
Yeah.
And I just back-aired for it. I was like, okay, well,
the comeback wasn't complete until you hit like 40%, and then the crowd, like as soon as you hit that 40 mark, the crowd went, "Whoa!" because they knew that like a Roy F smash could do it here, and so he obviously knew that and was like, "I'm gonna bet it all on that." But that was the dumb move.
Yeah.
He had no read.
The thing was that if he'd done it right next to the ledge, he could have like maybe timed it for a ledge jump or like a double jump from ledge or a neutral get up, but he only covered roll.
Yeah.
and I happened to jump, and I'm like, oh, he's charging F smash, and like
Big easy.
he just died.
Yeah. No, the thing about it was, I think you were at it was looking like a 2-stock, and then he just clinched out your stock, and it was like, well, it's closer to a JV than it is a comeback.
Yeah, no, he racked like percent up on me very quickly.
Yeah.
As well, he got like a nice little combo, sent me off stage, and then just tried to read me with an F smash and died.
Fool.
So yeah, it felt like a bit like, oh, okay, that's how it ended. But I mean, if he'd won, I still would have went in for the hug because like I kind of want, like, I was kind of rooting for Lush in my heart. Like I love Lush, and I've like ever since his first tournament, maybe not his first tournament, but like I know one of his first tournaments, I saw him play. I think we played, and I was just like, dude, you need to come to these more. And like I specifically was like, you are sick. You need to practice and come. And I think that actually like had a big effect on him. And I'm really happy that I managed to have an effect on someone like that. And that's why I encourage people to say things like that to people.
I was going to say, you guys look like you're bonded in-game. It was one of those sets that, like, neither of you disliked losing more than you enjoyed playing the game in that moment.
Yeah, playing the game was super fun.
Yeah.
Because, as I said before, he's doing all this sick shit, so I'm like,
yeah, let me do some sick shit.
I'll do some sick shit.
You want to play? Yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't do his sick shit than him. I just kind of flushed it with fundamentals.
But, hey.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Still fun. Yeah.
But, yeah, so, and then, quickly, Fly, that was my favorite set of the night.
Really?
I was like, 2 stocks down, and then just like got the wildest shield break, the luckiest shield break, the first one, because I'm like, oh, I've hit his shield as I was like coming in, recovering, and he didn't go for a single edge guard that whole set.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, he's just gonna stand on a ledge. So then I double jumped off and charged neutral B to try and like catch him shielding, and he didn't. He came in with an aggressive option, missed me. I kept charging, and he landed and shielded, and I up angled my shield breaker as I was like going past the stage.
Yeah.
And it just clipped him, and then took his shield, and I was like, oh, thank fuck. And like I'm like, okay, it's last stock now. I was on like 60 something %.
Yeah.
So I'd like just barely clutched out that thing, and then I was game on. Like I was playing in the zone at that point. Like I was very like, I think my play was really crisp in that last stock. He came down, he got me with a back air, sent me off stage. I came back on. I remember the whole thing vividly.
Was it one of those moments where you just knew you could win and you didn't take like the knocks as like threatening, or was it like you were just so in the zone that you weren't even considering like the percents of the deficit?
I was considering the percents in the deficit just from like a factor of like I knew what I could die to, but it was more like I need to play on point. I just felt like the pressure was on him and not on me.
Yeah.
And so when I'm in that situation, I usually like go with a ton of aggression, and that's what I was doing.
Right.
And it usually tends to be better aggression when I'm in those spots because they have pressure and I don't. So I play really well when I don't have any pressure. I hit his shield in the top platform, and this is something that I did to Squid Fist in the set versus him. I beat Ari using this exact same tactic. Twice, like I've taken a couple games off Ari doing this exact thing, which is you hit the shield with something while they're on a platform, and then you stand underneath the shield, and so you bait them to attack. They come down and they attack. Yeah. You step dash away, and they whiff the attack, and then the second that they whiff the attack, they bring up shield again.
Yeah.
And so you dash away,
shield break.
Yep. And that's what I did to him, and it wasn't like I was like thinking like. As soon as I hit the shield, I'm like, oh, maybe shield break. And then he came down in that exact kind of scenario. And I'm oh, here we go. And it just worked. And he was at 55%, which for an Incineroar is just above kill percent.
Wow.
And so I'm like, hell yeah. Got it. And I was just like, thank fuck. Because I had game 4 in the bag. I got him to 210%. And so I was very annoyed that I was losing game 5.
Yeah.
And Ryan, obviously, at the end of grand finals, it was very, very sad. I didn't want to win like that. When he upbeat, I was like, well, that was a weird option. And then he just went off stage, and I was just like, fuck. I was like, what? Like, and then I saw him. I'm like, did I just win this set like that? And you see me in the player cam just reel back, and I just like put my hands over my eyes, and I'm just like, no. And then I like visibly like shouted like, fuck. Like,
I don't want that.
Yeah. And he wasn't happy either. And so, it was not the way I wanted that to go out.
They always suck. Especially when you're like, you feel the blood pumping and you're into it. It just saps all of the energy out of it.
Yeah.
And like they don't want that. You don't want that. It's shit.
It wasn't enjoyable.
Super shit.
But we take those.
We take them. You feel a little bit of like relief sometimes. That's what you usually need to hold on to. You got to be like, okay, sick. I'm out of that tunnel. But it's even bad from like, even if you're just like, I want to be the winning guy ever. Because then you're like, I didn't even win. I'm like still at a disadvantage. I didn't learn what I needed to learn to take out the set.
Yeah, exactly. That's the way I felt.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I just got lucky on that set. Let's see if I can get lucky again.
Let's hope. Yeah.
Anyway.
Anyway.
I didn't.
We're going to run through these questions. Speed run them.
Okay.
How do you view how do you view being known as PR gatekeeper, and does it affect how you view certain matches from Gravy Dice?
So straight up, I feel like no one really ever called me that until Mittens recently did in my player insight.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know if people really consider me that, but I technically am, I guess. That doesn't affect me at all in matches. Like I just know that I'm very good against mid-level because of the aggressive style of play that I use.
Yeah.
And the way that I utilize strings a lot, and they fall into the same defensive habits. So I'm just not worried about mid-level matches, and so I play more confident.
Against PR, you've taken like sets and games, right?
Yeah, I take games all the time against PR. I've recently started taking more and more sets. I mean, I'm currently like 3-0 on Kajak, and I just beat Ari on Friday and stuff. So we're doing all right. Gus beat me on Friday, which is annoying.
What a bitch.
But Gus sometimes just runs over me. Like, I think he just cleanly fucked me on that. Like,
sometimes he does that.
Yeah.
He just fucking... He's one of those players who like will come back after a little bit and then just have like that aggression that just... I don't get it watching it. It almost doesn't make sense. But then when you play against him, you're like, you understand it.
Yeah.
But anyway... Yeah, but I bring that up because people label you as the gatekeeper, and I'm like, you should be careful because I feel like you're earning the reputation of a PR player, not a gatekeeper.
Yeah.
It's just the fact that you are so consistent against the mid-level players that people will put you there, which is fair enough. Like, I don't want to say that.
But I think with the anti-anxiety medication, I think I'm getting up into the PR for the next season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna take it out. What place do you want to get? Anyway.
Yeah. Any.
It's always nice.
So I want to get as high as I can. I mean, I just beat Ari, so I'm very happy with that. I mean, Lanoon beat Ari, and I beat Lanoon as well. So
there you go.
And I just practice with Ari all the time, and it's we're like 3-11 now in sets. So I want to try and work that way back up to even.
Okay.
But yeah, so.
I haven't skipped your question, Millis. I just haven't seen it on Twitter. Aside from Piss Gang, how many other jokes do you plan on co-opting from me for your own social capital? From Millis.
So I assume this is like, I mean,
some sort of hate mail?
It says aside from Piss Gang. This is that's a question that's specifically for his own clout.
Right.
And it's actually not a question for me.
Okay.
So
we can ignore that.
I don't really understand what he means.
Can we report that?
Yeah.
For harassment on Twitter. Can we get that one done?
He's
actually don't actually.
So if Piss Gang is a joke, I'm not allowed to talk about our crew. Like I don't really understand the question, and I have been known to occasionally, like, someone shyer than me will like be like, "Oh, yeah, this thing funny," and then I'll be like, "Oh, this thing funny" to everyone, and then everyone will be like, "Ah,
You're funny."
Jones is funny."
Yeah.
But I try not to do that as much as possible, and I like whenever I have done that, and usually it's while I'm drinking, I'll be like, "Oh shit," like,
Yeah.
nah, he said that though.
It's hard to give credit. You
Yeah.
got to remember who told you that. Sometimes you hear so many funny things that you're like, oh, that's right. But, citing your sources is also not as funny as just saying the joke. So you have to say the joke, let it sink, and then be like, but I got it from this guy.
Yeah.
Which is tough. Anyway, I don't think, you would steal anything from Millistow because he's not funny. So that's kind of confusing. Anyways, next question is from Lush. What's your story?
So I went into this a little bit before the podcast, but I am a doco kid. I grew up with esports. I was 12 when I joined my first esports team. It wasn't a real esports team. It was just like a clan for this 2D shooter that I played called Soldat.
Wow. I've never even heard of that.
And like I joined a clan, and then we had like practice sessions, and I had to try out for the team.
Jesus.
And like they had like subs and stuff like that. And I made the main roster, and we competed in the big pond, like player ladder, like team ladder. Sorry,
Bless you.
For Soldat, and that hooked me because I've been competitive.
Yeah.
And I when I was growing up, my most proud aspect of myself was that I was smarter than my brothers. My brothers are both pretty smart, and like I was getting better results than them in school.
So you're like, suck this.
And and so like that was my like shining moment. Like that I could I was getting better grades. And so when esports came along and I can combine my intellect and video game knowledge with my competitiveness, and I'm just like, oh yeah. And then it's like community's always been a huge thing for me. It's just immediately like this community aspect to it, where like you're getting on, we were all on Skype at the time and stuff like that, and like doing training sessions and stuff. It felt like I was, I grew up through sport, and I loved sport, but something about playing video games like sport clicked with me.
Yep.
And so then I did that. Then I got really good at Counter-Strike because everyone from my clan moved to Counter-Strike.
Makes sense.
And then from there, everyone got into HON, Heroes of New Earth.
Damn, you went the whole journey.
From there into Dota, there into Overwatch, and then into Rocket League. Rocket League was the first game where I'm like, I am training.
Oh.
I am like labbing this shit. I like went into practice mode. I like made like full like training regime for myself.
Yep.
And I'm like, I want to be good at this game because I just watched the documentary and didn't have access to Smash. So I'm like, this is the next best thing to me.
Right, I got to do the training.
So the Melee documentary, which brought me into Smash. So
everyone's got to watch it if you haven't watched it. If you got a free night
it's
and
amazing.
a free tomorrow.
It's an 11 episode like full documentary. So it's 4 hours in total, but it's segmented into 11 episodes, and it breaks down the meta of how Melee progressed, like how the meta of the Melee meta progressed over time.
I think it's better as a focus of like the type of players that get to the top.
Yes.
Because one of the ones that I always used to give people hope who are grinding, who are like, how do these people like join the scene and then overcome me so quickly, is Mewtwo King. Because he is a player who's grinded from like the very beginning and was shit for so long.
Yeah.
And then eventually got good. But like, it also shows how the metas progress and how like good they've eventually gone. They start looking at the early
and it was
stuff.
amazing. It just inspired, like it hit every note of like my community aspect, and of like the way that like these players are just like kind of outthinking each other. Evolving the meta is like something that's just like beautiful. Like,
yes.
It was something that just spoke to me on like such a deep level. I loved that documentary.
Yep.
And so I started watching competitive Melee, and then I started playing Smash 4 casually at my friend's place. And I was just way more into Smash than they were.
Yep.
I would get to play like once a week and between every session of us playing for like 4 hours, I would have watched like 16, 20 hours of YouTube content on
just
Smash.
like rapid consumption of like
Yeah,
how
yeah.
do I
How do I
develop
do all this stuff? And I would be able to apply barely any of it in the time I had because I was poor and couldn't afford to get my own Wii U.
Yep.
And maybe a year of playing casual Smash in that manner, I finally I'm like, stuff it. Like, I still can't afford it, but I know someone that I used to go to church with that has a Wii U that they don't use, and I basically begged them. I'm like,
dude,
I
please
would love to be able to play this game competitively. I know there's an Australian scene, and I want to be really good at this.
Yeah.
Like, can I borrow your Wii U? And he lent it to me for the whole rest of Smash 4. So I had it for like a year and 3 months, is how long I played Smash 4 for. And I never, I never bought a Wii U.
No.
And yeah, and I had already looked up VODs for the Queensland scene. I'd like looked into it all prior to this. I decided on like how I was going to train. I basically like went labbing and played online.
Who were you playing before you got into the scene?
I was playing Marth Mewtwo. Like, I ended up playing Marth Mewtwo in the scene, yeah. Because I'd looked it up so much that I'm like, okay, I need to sign up my meta. Like, okay, these are the guys I want to play. And then, eventually, I got the Wii U, and a week later, I went to my first tournament. That was actually the first time I'd ever experienced anxiety because I'd built it up in my head. So I've always been very fortunate to never really suffer from depression or anything in my life. But the first time that I was on the train to go to my very first tournament,
chest pains.
Chest pains. I didn't know what was wrong. It felt like something was wrong, and I didn't know what. And I was just like, "What is happening?" Like sweaty, like heavy breathing, and so. Yeah, and that was the first time I had ever experienced anxiety. Later on, it would become a huge thing with like performance anxiety from work and etc. And I've eventually sought therapy for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, and that was intense. But after that, I was hooked. I went there and it was amazing. Jace was very welcoming, and a bunch of the other guys. Aidento was my very first set that I ever played, and I 3-0'd him.
Rough.
And so I'm like, that built a lot of confidence, and I
like
barely, I don't think I won another game apart from that. I maybe won one on Cody, which was like really big at the time, because Cody was quite good.
He was. He's still pretty decent, and when he comes back, he'll be all right. Yeah.
But yeah, Aiden was probably bottom 3 Smash 4 players.
Yikes.
In existence. His elo was the worst in all of Smash 4.
Aidento lost every single Smash 4 set he ever played.
Yeah. He played Sonic. The first set that I ever played him, he played Yoshi, and he denies that he ever played Yoshi in the game. But I definitely remember the specific.
It had to be Yoshi.
Yeah, it was Yoshi. But
it's not me bullying him. He did. I thought you were just bullying.
No, he did. He did 100%. Yeah. Like he had 200 elo or something by the end of Smash 4, which is
huge. Props to him.
Super grim.
Sticking with it.
But yeah, and ultimately he's way better. Obviously, he's probably going to be on the 40.
For sure.
He keeps it up.
I mean, I haven't seen the 40, but I've got confidence in him.
Yeah. But yeah, and then so that then fill in the rest from there.
Yep.
Basically.
But damn.
Yeah.
That's
where
your story. Yeah. So one of the things that I thought was interesting is that you have the long history of the esports competition. So things make sense to you in this environment when you get into it. But one of the other things I noticed is that a couple of players who get good really quickly actually have that history. I know Sifo as well had the world record on a Mario Kart track, and also played. He took a break from Smash 4 and then played
Rocket League.
Rocket League competitively.
Yeah, he was he was in an Australian esports team for Rocket League. He was competing at an international level. Which
is, some people they come into the scene and they wonder how these players get up to where they are. It's kind of unfair because a lot of them have had years and years of experience. Maybe not playing competitively, but also like playing these games for such a long time that they get to that point.
Yeah.
And like, I'm not saying like you almost have to be a nerd to play Smash competitively, but some people, they come in and they just found that they enjoy Smash and they're not really like a video game player, and they're like, how do these guys get here? And it's
And that's Ari.
Yeah.
Like Ari never played a video game competitively, but like he played played Smash against his friends, and then decided, oh, I'm pretty good, I'll get a tournament, and then he's in love with it. Yeah.
Anyway, was this in 4 or Ultimate?
This was in 4.
Yeah. We've got to speedrun these. We haven't been speedrunning. Python asks, favorite moments of your Smash career? It's got to be the Arcadian. It's up there.
It's up there. But you know, like
you got moments.
I don't get to. It's like it was a beautiful thing, but because I came in seed 1, in as seed 1 and came out as number 2.
Yeah.
It's slightly disappointing.
Oh.
And also, like, as hype as it was, it's like I haven't been losing to mid-level players, so I shouldn't lose to any mid-level players, and that's the mentality that I went into. So yeah. It was fantastic. I think Pissmas was a huge highlight for me.
Yeah.
That was
one of my
best
memories.
like my top as a TO. You were my first PR win. That was a big moment for me, especially because you were like delving into the Mewtwo realm at the time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bitch, I got you in the Mewtwo Ditto, and I did. And then you went Lucas, which was one of my worst matchups. Like, I sucked at Lucas matchup, and you won the next game.
Yeah.
And then I won the game after that to take it in the full best of 3, and that was a huge moment for me.
I remember.
But then beating Sad Hour and beating Sad Hour, like I beat, I ran through all the 4-on-1, beat Sad Hour in winners finals of FNS 167 or something. I think it was 165 or 167.
Jeez, the number.
And then I beat Gus in grand finals 3-1, and I took my first FNS. That was probably the biggest moment for me in my Smash career, was taking my first FNS.
It does feel good.
Yeah.
It's like you've been here so many times, but then finally it just like
everything clicked.
Yeah. And then you're just like, wow, I'm the greatest. I mean, that's my opinion. I'm just like, oh, wow, I'm so sick. Even though mine, I was like, every single PR was absent at the time. But it's like coming home and then opening the fridge and it's full of food and it's all for you. It's kind of like my analogy for winning FNS. But
it's a good feeling.
Yeah. Even though it's a weekly. But I think you should be definitely proud of your Arcadian, because like the guy won was seeded 11th. So he was obviously a combination of playing out of his mind, super underrated. Like, I think you did really incredible, and it's a solidify. Like, you won FNS and you've been doing really well lately, but you never confirmed to be recognized until you do well at one of the bigger tournaments. That was always the standard. Like, yeah, they do well at Friday Night Smash, but when the pressure's on, if they're at a big tournament, can they handle it?
Yeah.
And I think you did that. So I think
that is definitely one of the big things. The big takeaways is that I played 11 sets that day. Only 2 of them were off stream. 9 of them were on stream.
You had a lot of pressure. Holy shit.
Yeah. And then I think like 5 out of 7 of my double sets were on stream as well. So
Jesus Christ.
And me and Umbrella came 5th in doubles.
Yep.
Even with all the PR players playing. So yeah, very happy with both. Obviously, wish I could have taken number 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next time, dude.
Yeah.
They weren't even Queensland.
What do you mean next time? I'm gonna be on PR.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. You can't even go to the Arcadian next time.
Dude, I'm
Meta shift.
I'll be honest. I was jealous. Very jealous
of all the PR guys. I was too.
I'm like,
these motherfuckers are having a great time.
Yeah. They're like, oh, this guy. Because I follow the scene very thoroughly. I'm the kind of guy who like looks through the bracket all the way to the back, and I see how the mid-level players are doing against each other.
Yeah.
If I had time, I would definitely help Ben and BD out with the 40, because I like keep my eyes like glued on that area.
Right.
But yeah, so I I would have loved to be like walking around and just seeing how all the mid-level players are doing against each other.
It is
and getting
sick.
drunk and betting on them. I really wanted to drink, and the bar was closed by the time grand finals finished. I was devastated. But yeah, I was a bit jealous.
Jealous of sickness.
And so that's why I'm making PR, and next Arcadian I'm gonna fuck around.
You're gonna make PR by doing well at Metashift, right?
Pardon?
You're gonna do well at Metashift and then make
Oh
PR.
yeah, for sure. Like if I don't make it out of Metashift, I'm gonna be pretty upset. Yeah.
I think you've already. That's the thing about the Arcadian. You've already solidified yourself as like.
Yeah, like
PR
the
level,
thing is,
I think.
I've earned a good enough seed now that I'm almost
Probably
definitely gonna make
yeah.
it out.
Let's be real, everybody.
Yeah. It's all about making the seed for majors. Like honestly, if you want to make it out of pools at a major, you got to work at your weeklies and at your monthlies.
Yeah.
Because then you get the better seed, and it's just so much easier.
So
to make
much easier.
Yeah.
Unless you get fucking, bad seeding. But at this point, we've solidified that the people who do the seeding are really good at what they do, and you're almost always going to get a fair cop. So
Yeah.
you're going to be sweet.
Definitely.
We got any more Twitter questions?
Um,
Or should we go straight to the Twitch questions? Because we're scrunching out of time.
That's true.
Zondrel. Wait,
Aiden.
Aiden, what is your greatest guilty pleasure?
Teching 101 on YouTube. Look it up.
Teching.
Yeah. Teching 101. It's not anything to do with Smash.
It's tech.
It's all to do with One Piece.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say
He is that guy that was your friend in school. That was the only one that you could talk to about anime.
Yeah.
And he's like the nerdiest guy, like TEK and then King. So
Tech
it's
King.
two Ks. So TEK King 101 on YouTube. Look him up. He's such a guilty pleasure because he's like he's purposely corny. He's really, really over the top corny.
But that's what you love.
And it's so much fun. I love listening.
I love
to him.
how I know exactly, like, I'm straight on board with this. I'm already excited to listen to him because I fucking know it. Like, yes, I know that guy. I still talk to, that's my guy who gives me my anime and manga recommendations, is that guy you're talking about. He sends me shit just like, you got to watch this, dude.
Yeah.
Anyway, speedrunning it. Next question is, Ashley, who is best girl in anything ever?
Kurisu from Steins Gate.
Also, another one, if I'm allowed, was that actual piss in the water bottle in the Piss Gang music video?
It was oolong tea.
Okay, well. Thoughts on both SSU and Arcadian from Vanessa?
I think Vanessa's referring to my very disappointing loss to him
At SSU.
He knocked me out from making it through pools. I was seeded to beat him. He beat me. It was very, very disappointing for me because I had a full stock and a bit lead in every single game of the best of 3, and I just could not close out the last stop.
Anger.
And I was very mad when I lost that set because he was at like 190 when I lost.
Oh my
and he killed me with like a Yoshi back air at like 100, and I was just like, cool, all right, well. And he popped off, which is fine.
Fair enough, but still,
there's
no way that you should be letting a Yoshi live that long consistently.
I was just very annoyed.
Soma, Sonic Ma'am, do you ever have that feel come to you? You know what I'm talking about, right? That feeling when you feel too guilty and you just want to play math. You ever get that?
The answer is not really.
Take you for that kind of person.
So I played Marth and Mewtwo in Smash 4, and I love Marth. I wish to fuck that Marth was better than Lucina in this game.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like I said, the balance of wanting to win and the amount of fun you have from winning and the amount of fun you have from playing a character, it's like
you have to have.
Obviously, I'm just gonna play Lucina because she's an infinite, she's a
there's
much better character.
Upsides that are legitimate that you can rely on.
And playing Marth, on top of that, it's not even fun for me anymore.
Yeah.
Because his tippers aren't consistent. He'll
You'll
go
get
right
the
through the
exact same. This is what I'm saying. You gotta get mad at this shit, but entertain yourself. Why is it that when I tipper F smash?
yeah. It's that feeling it doesn't feel consistent at all. You're just like, why didn't that tipper? And your opponent's always like, I don't know. And so in Smash Ultimate they kind of ruined Marth, so I don't feel bad about not playing Marth at all.
Let's hope they fix him when they release. Zondrel asks, if you were my Smash Bros. Personal trainer, how many ledge trump reps would you recommend that I do every 30 minutes in my rigorous training schedule?
So I would spend about 10 minutes doing that until I got until I got quite good. What I would do is I would go into training mode. The first thing I would do is just ledge trump, until I got the ledge trump down, and then eventually ledge trump back air, ledge trump back air, ledge trump back air.
Yeah. Classic combination training that has been built up over the years.
Yeah.
In the FGC
but in Ultimate I built it up over Smash towards the end of Smash 4 to get good at Marth, because Marth had a pretty good one.
He had an amazing one.
But then in Smash Ultimate it became a lot harder. The input is a lot tighter.
Yeah.
And it's just feels less consistent in general.
Yeah, it is.
So I had to go back into the lab, and I probably spent more time, even after basically getting it very consistently in Smash 4.
Yeah. I
had to go into the lab, and I've spent more time in the lab labbing that than anything else in Smash Ultimate.
Is there a trick to it, or is there a weaker around the version? I hear a lot of people saying the air dodge version is the best, where you run off air dodge into the ledge.
Yeah, but it just takes longer,
yeah,
so you're gonna catch people about much less often.
Yeah.
And so some people have side B ones that can work pretty well, but if you can ledge trump with anyone, then you can ledge trump really well. Dude, I do it with Ike.
Yeah.
And Ganon. Those fucking ledge trumps are insane.
They do seem tough.
No, but I mean,
it's
not
when you
when
hit
you
them.
get it, you can kill them at 70. It's dumb. So I would definitely recommend practicing it.
Because your character might be the answer to your ledge trap scenario as well. If they're just on the ledge too much, you could be like, well, now I ledge trump.
Yeah.
And it adds a whole lot to more of the game.
Yeah, so if they're waiting on the ledge, don't ledge trump them while they're waiting on the ledge.
When they're about to come, if you know that they're planning to wait on the ledge.
Exactly. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
But we can move on.
Favorite TV shows, anime? Jono.
Oh, we already did this.
Yeah,
fuck.
Yeah.
But Game of Thrones was my favorite.
That
until
was
the last 3 seasons.
Have you watched The Witcher?
No, but I'm currently reading I'm
reading the books.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So I was already doing that, and then they announced it, and I was like, oh damn! And then everyone's been like, it's the best shit. Now I'm vilified. I'm like,
I've heard it's
god.
50-50. I've watched it and I love it, but I've heard it's 50-50. Some people hate it, some people love it.
Really?
It's really smart, especially the second time around. You don't realize how many context clues they give during the show until you understand the entire plot of the show, and then it's just holy shit, they're dropping context bombs all the time about what's going on. But yeah, some people, they say it's confusing and convoluted.
Fair enough. And if you read the books, you'll have the exact same problem, because it's all over the place. The timeline is not a straight line. It's oh, we're here and now we're here. It's a whole bunch of short stories. Yeah.
But then you get it. And then it's amazing. Anyway, we have time to, I think, do the Piss Gang tier list, which is the surprise thing that I want to have. You put that in your message with me when you propositioned me for the podcast.
We didn't mention that until now.
Hey,
I did do that.
If someone comes to me and they list all these good reasons about why they're on the podcast, I'm a reasonable human being. How can I be like, nah, fuck off?
Yeah. And I did that, Carl, by the way.
Yeah, Carl, you should honestly be doing that too, because I'm also very... I am a lazy human being. I will admit that. And so if someone comes to me and they've done half my work, Carl's pissed. If someone's come to me and they've done half my work, look, hell yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Sell yourself, Carl. It's this tactic. So I'm gonna go onto OzSmash and look up the Piss Gang crew, because I don't want to forget anyone. I want to make sure that I get this right the first time.
Okay. While you're doing that, I'll interact with the Twitch. We can this will be the interactive Twitch time that we also have.
I'm there.
You're there?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Cool.
So,
but,
I mean,
from this point onwards, we can interact with the chat and talk about the.
Yeah. No worries.
He probably would have forgotten me in the Piss Gang tier list. Oof. Thank God he's got it in front of him. Hi, Cap. Hi, Zondrel. How you doing? I'm glad that you didn't get everybody sick, but I miss not seeing you at Arcadian. So you did the right thing, but honestly, if I were
Good
you,
on you.
I'd rather have just seen you there and get everybody sick because, I like to watch the world burn a little bit. Yeah, I'll see you next time. That's not mean.
Okay.
Oh, saying something mean about you. So we had the Piss Gang tier list.
This is tough because this is basically just like players where I think they are at right now in terms of skill.
Okay.
Um,
So it's not just like who your favorite people are on the tier.
No,
Okay,
no.
that's fair.
because
Yeah.
that would just shit on people. This is already shitting on people.
Triss, by the way.
But it's mostly going to go in order of ELO, like obviously, because that's just how these things work. But
Okay.
it's Ari at number 1,
Yeah, for sure.
Chris at number 2.
Oh, all right. Wait, Chris Shitashi, he's in
Shitashi.
Piss Gang?
Yeah, he's
What the?
a huge piss gang.
That's a bit of a surprise for me, I will admit. But all right, keep going.
But
I didn't
this
realize
guy
he
didn't know
was.
he was
Look,
in
I
Piss
have.
Gang.
Yeah, I know. I'm disappointing all of Piss Gang, and I'm gonna show up to the next one. You guys are gonna
he's like
eat me.
he's a big piss gang advocate.
Is Joz aware of the fact that Lucina skin is based on the thick dark mage that is a masochistic?
No, I didn't, and I don't really care.
I like thick dark. Anyways, next one.
Yeah.
Have you not seen the video?
Yeah, and then so then 3, me, I think.
Okay. That's
4 is really tough between Kyle and David.
Yeah.
I think that at the moment Dave's been edging Kyle out because Kyle hasn't been playing as much.
Right.
But Kyle has had higher highs than David. But yeah, I think that David's number 4. Sorry, I mean Kyle's number 4 and David's number 5. Wait, no. At the moment, David's number 4, Kyle's number 5.
Okay. I'm throwing hands.
Sorry.
Says Kyle.
Yeah. And then, so I'm going to not include Zeno because he's not really an active member of Piss Gang, and he's only really a member of Piss Gang because of me. So I'm not going to include that at the moment.
Sorry, bud.
Yeah, I don't want to rank him because he's so not in the scene anymore that it would be unfair to say where
Hey, he was
ranks.
at the Arcadian. But yeah, I get you.
Yeah, and then it's a close tie between Tom, Sifo, and Delve for me. But at the moment, I'd say Sifo is edging them out. He's been really focusing hard on that.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's been pouring a lot of effort into the game. He just, I don't know, the way that he will switch characters is not from a good place.
Yes.
I don't think that when he switches characters, he's the kind of person that's like, I lost because they were playing too lame, or I wasn't playing lame enough. I don't want to play lame. Those kind of things. He comes up with dumb excuses.
Simplified excuses.
Yeah,
that make it easier to switch.
Exactly, and so he is definitely holding himself back.
Okay.
Like Tom holds himself back. I think
by
Tom
Donkey Kong.
Tom of the last few weeks outdoes Delve in my mind.
Wow.
And that's saying something because I have a really high opinion of Delve. But Tom of the last few weeks outdoes Delve in my mind. And then, so it would go Tom, then Delve, then Millis.
Yikes.
And then...
but this is a stacked list. I'm actually understanding how stacked the North is.
Yeah.
At this point.
And then, yeah, it's tough. As I love Aiden, but Gabe at Stilts is someone that I feel like is working on his. Even he plays Yoshi, and Aiden plays Piranha Plant, Villager. These kind of niche picks that don't focus on fundamentals.
Yeah.
And Yoshi isn't necessarily like every other character.
But he is more fundamental.
He's much more fundamental.
Yeah.
And when I play Gabe, I can see him getting better and growing, and I feel like he approaches the game a bit more intelligently, whereas Aiden It's much more flowcharty. He kind of just does things, and they just work against a certain percentage of the player base.
Yeah.
But once you've played him like more than a few times, then you kind of just like get a feel for the way he wants to approach the game.
Yeah, and you can
And it
get
becomes
some
really
hard
easy
reads.
to intercept that. And he's been learning. Yeah, like he beat Trunkle. Like he's been doing quite well.
He's got a repertoire of gimmicks, and I think that maybe the characters that are more niche suit
Yeah,
that, so because he
so-
can sort of like build a whole web of things that people don't necessarily understand because
Yes.
they're so niche.
And he's been working on so many different things. I think he's been really pouring himself into the game lately.
Yeah.
Which is really, really good to see.
But
So it's-
Stilts,
Yeah, Stilts, I feel like, is better fundamentally at the
Okay.
game. And so I would rate Stilts above Aiden.
that's just your preference for fundamentals is more
Yeah,
highly
I-
valued than...
I value fundamentals over a flowchart
Mm-hmm.
because I see fundamentals as taking you further
Yeah.
in the end game. Like, you can get to top level on gimmicks, but you're locking yourself into this one specific thing.
Yep.
And that's why I'd rate Stilts over Aiden because, like, you know, I love Aiden and it's really like I know like
He's
that it-
crying.
yeah, that it's not an easy thing to say.
Yeah.
But they're both really good, and I can see Aiden going further now because of the way that he's been pouring himself into the game.
Yeah.
And labbing out these interactions, and he did really well at the Arcadian. Gabe did much less well, and in general, Aiden does better than Gabe. But from
It's
playing
just,
friendlies with them all the time, I
your
can
personal preference
I can
of-
feel Gabe getting stronger.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, from my experience playing against Aiden and playing against Gabe, I agree. I think playing against Stilts was super hard for me because he is like fundamentally sound. But I'm the kind of player who likes to learn the opponent. And if I figure you out, it's like starting to become bad news bears for you.
Yeah.
And Aiden's one of those players that I figure him out. It's difficult for him to sort of be like, okay, well, how do I adapt to this?
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway. Joz, do you think that if I played solo Ganon at Arcadian, I could have beat Ryan after I bop you in Losers Finals? Yeah, dude. Keep going Ganon. Everyone needs to go Ganon. Also, someone named the thick, masochistic girl. Is she from, or lady, is she from Fire Emblem? I'm not sure I want to be into her if she's from Fire Emblem. But yeah, Tharja. Okay, I can remember that.
So, little bit like Levi, your Ganon is good.
Here we go.
but-
I can hear the apprehension in your voice before you start this.
It's because there's a little bit of pride.
he's worried.
There's a little bit of pride on the line here because what happened was like he was doing quite well at TNS with his Ganon,
Yeah.
and then I walked into FNS in this very room, and he was sitting here playing Ganon Dittos like with someone else.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, dude, your Ganon's been sick lately. Do you mind if we play some Ganon Dittos? 'Cause
Yeah.
I have like a
I
Ganon.
got a bit of a Ganon, yeah.
Yeah, and then I beat him 8 games in a row, 8-0. and then 2 weeks later, we had to play in Redemption, and he didn't remember that at all. And I went
Oh,
Ganon
man.
Ditto with him in bracket, and he beat me
Oh!
in bracket, and like there was like we were playing on like this setup that was like right everyone was like walking past, and it's just not a good environment. And I was like had a lot of stress on myself.
Yeah.
And then I went Lucina, and I think we ended up going 2-1, and he beat me. And I was like so fucking pissed.
Yeah.
Because he also didn't remember that I'd just
So he
beaten him.
doesn't have the
He didn't remember that I'd beaten him 8-0 either. He's like, oh, sorry, dude. I play a lot of Ganon Dittos.
And you're like, you motherfucker.
Yeah.
I'm
Like-
one of them. I don't
Yeah,
remember the 8-0.
And I was pretty annoyed.
You were supposed to have a mental block.
Yeah.
That's what you were thinking. God. Josh, talk about the Marlowe pick.
Mario pick.
Mario.
Okay, so
I
I talked about my secondaries earlier. I've played plenty of secondaries. You can see them on Oz Smash. Click on Jaws, then characters. I've won plenty of games with my secondaries before Millis. But yeah, and the one time that I picked a secondary against Millis, because my Lucina usually handily beats his DDD. I think I'm like 10-0 in sets on him. But in one of the sets at Coastal Clash, I was 2-0 up on him. It was a very close second game, and I'm like, I think my Mario
Could have this
can go like a lot better than my Lucina just did.
Did he 3-stock you?
No.
Oh.
It was like last stock or something.
Oh, then what are you, Millis?
Yeah, but he beat the Mario, and then I just went back to Lucina and won 3-1.
It's just like making Jaws feel guilty for it. It's funny.
Yeah, and yeah, I don't like to pick secondaries in tournament that much because I feel like
that's not what you're.
And it can be insulting to some players. Like, you don't have this character. Like, why are you trying to like prove that I'm shit by beating me with the character that you're not as good at?
Yeah, but also it's
like it comes from a place of I just want to play the character. I enjoy playing a lot of different characters. But yeah, I don't know.
Picking secondaries in tourney is life, says Sifo. Some people have absolutely no problems with it, and some people are like, it's not right. I always feel bad if I lose with a secondary because it's like, why the hell did I do that?
Yeah, and also I lost to Aiden's Bowser Jr. with my
Mario?
No, with my Lucina. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. He just kind of like plays a sick Bowser Jr.
I think his Baoju might be pretty slippery, pretty slick, pretty
I also had no idea. Like, he kind of gimmicked me with the slide thing. I had no idea about that. How you could like spin out with the side B and then it does like a bunch of damage.
Yeah.
I had no idea that was a thing, and he killed me at like 80 with that to win the set. And I was just like, oh,
this guy's a genius.
Yep.
Whenever I switch to Incineroar, I get pooped on. New Zealand's best player always goes secondaries against me. Some people,
That's aloof, isn't it? I think, or is it red?
Sure. I'm not too into the scene at this point in time. I'm coming back. Maybe I'll dip out. Who knows?
And then aloof. I find that aloof and Lumi from Taz are kind of like so far above the level of their own scene that they do that to other players, which isn't cool. But at that point, I would do the same thing because I wouldn't enjoy just going my main and just fucking everybody like constantly. Like you wouldn't actually get any better by doing it.
Yep.
So I'm just gonna be like, let's
Maybe I'll
see
train
what I
my
can do.
Mario in case I play against one of these other guys from the other states who are really good. If I've got my Mario and my Marth. Yeah. Like, they're not thinking of it like, I'm bored necessarily. They're also thinking of it strategically. Like, it's, they probably think that their Mario is good enough, and it's up to you to prove them wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
Or whatever they're playing. Donkey Kong. Anyway, so we got 5 minutes on my screen until 10:30, but I 100% that I know that one's wrong. Jet has confirmed that with me. That this timer is not right.
Oh.
It's actually...
it's 10 minutes later.
Yeah. So, we've got until this timer says 10:30 before I shut this bad boy down. I pull the plug. So, get your questions in really, 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 really quickly because, that's the time we got. Yeah. But the strategy could also be, this guy's not good enough. I can get some practice in. Joz didn't do that. I'm just talking shit.
Yeah, no, I didn't do that. No. I just thought my Mario could like solidly take that game, and it didn't. He beat it.
Quick question: how are y'all? How are you?
Yeah, pretty good. I'm like after the Arcadian was like a huge ego boost. I loved everyone like cheering for me in grands, and like I came away from the set and everyone's like, oh man, you did sick. Like. It was really like nice to get a lot of validation, as it is for anyone.
Feels great.
So yeah, like I'm super happy with it. And then afterwards, if I felt like at the after party at Chris's, and I felt like a queen of the ball or whatever.
Yeah.
Like it was just
everyone's
a nice time.
celebrating you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm doing okay. I'm a bit tired. I've been non-stop since Saturday morning. I've sort of like not been able to relax or sit down.
Yeah, I've been at home for like 3 hours since Thursday.
Yeah. That's kind of the same. It's just fucked, right? What the hell? What else? How are you guys at home? How do you consciously work on improving? Well, you can answer this one first. I don't know.
Yeah. This one's There's a lot to it. I would say that studying your VODs, like noticing, okay, he hit me here. Why did he hit me here? Work on that. Be like, what are the things that my character can do that I'm not doing? And to understand how that works, you go watch the best player of your character. Then practice a lot against people offline. I would say don't play online. Only play online if it's absolutely necessary.
If your character doesn't necessarily get hindered by offline.
Either way, if your character benefits from offline, it's bad for you too.
No, I think I don't mean that in like, oh, you can just like nest side B and it works. I mean like if your character is, I'm thinking of like Donkey Kong from Smash 4, where you just have to like work on very simple combos, and it's not necessarily about reacting to them, but inputting them once you've got the confirm of the hit.
Yes, and so I play Smash Online. I will play, I would say 60% Ganon at least, because Ganon is just purely fundamental. He doesn't, like, he has a lot of long lingering moves and like quite big, and the ways that you have to escape from disadvantage are like, you have to be very intelligent about the way you get back to stage, the way that you approach neutral, and you can do that online as well.
I feel like
I would never play Lucina online.
Yeah, you have to build up your fundamentals, but you have to be careful with your main not to spoil some of its mechanics with online environment. Anyway, got to quickly speedrun these, and then we'll crack it up. Also, Gravy Dice, segment things into where you can improve and then work on those, like try and understand where your holes are, and to do that you can just ask people or look at your own VODs and then improve in there, like keep it focused from one point to another. When you've recorded games/stream games, how do you review them to improve as a player? Take them slow. Take them into sections.
I've like been known to take things down to 0.5 or 0.25 speed so that I can really analyze. And I recommend doing that the same thing to the top player that plays your character. I had done the same thing for Proto Barnum and from MK Leo.
You don't want to over-analyze and be like, 0.25, 0.1, take it like, super slow. You just want to understand how it's functioning and give your brain...
What was the decision that he made here?
Yeah. And give your brain time to digest and just be like, okay, that's why he's doing that. That's genius and stuff like that.
I've been watching Smash a lot as a spectator for too long, so that's why I need to slow it down to 0.5 to actually study it. Because I just get caught up in the flow of like, let's go, MK Leo.
Yeah, how do you do that? Yeah. You got to slow it down, I think. And also, like, take it into sections. So, like, understand how the game moves from chapter to chapter. They're just scuffling to this is an edge guard to this is pressure on the ledge, ledge trapping. And understand, once you can segment that, you can segment it in your own brain and then understand what to do in a situation. That's my opinion.
Levi, there's definitely no hard feelings. I feel bad talking shit about the 8-0. So I'm sorry about that. And for trying to John about the loss.
Yeah.
But I actually do feel those Johns were like I always play in the corner of the room because I hate playing on the setups that are like right next to the hallway. Like there was literally the one that's like straight through the door.
Yeah, bustling through you.
Yeah.
I hate that one. How do you feel about being the black sheep of Piss Gang from Idento? You don't have to answer that. You can just say no.
I think what he's getting at here is that I don't live right near them, so sometimes they'll organize things and I'm just like, I live 45 minutes away, so I can't get to it.
But that's fair enough.
But I also think he may have been shit talking. I can't really see the context in which he was asking that.
It's tough with Aiden, right? Like, you can't tell.
But yeah, I know that Chris feels the same way. Chris lives like even further away from Sunshine Coast than I do.
Yeah.
And so, I think that sometimes that he feels it even harder than me. Because he doesn't come to my Thursday sessions, which are like close enough for him to come.
Yeah.
But he's just busy with work. I mean, I'm busy with work, but I make time. But whatever.
Sifo said Chris is furthest. Wow. Wait, I'm far as fuck too.
Yeah. Like Sifo is almost as far as Chris. It's very close between them. But Sifo also works full time and makes the effort to come to these things. So it's It's really just on Chris. Like he doesn't prioritize Smash. I think.
No, which is fair enough. I mean,
he really misses out on hanging out.
Jaws, it's just a joke. Just tell him to fuck off and go on with your day.
Yeah, fuck off, Aiden.
Feels good. Now, you're all good. No, you're all good, man. Just wasn't sure. I was playing before and then heard your tone change instantly. Love my fucking ass off. Love you. Got him. All right. That'll be all, guys. I'll save my little story about what Jet did to me for next time. It's very funny, but I don't have the gusto to recount it. And I will do that next time with the right sort of energy that I need. Anyways, I love you all more than I love my socks. Yep, that's pretty fair.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
He's not even wearing socks. He loves you guys so much.
I wish I was wearing socks. The aircon's been on the whole time, and my toes feel like little frozen marshmallows. Anyway, thanks for being on. Thanks for coming out.
No
Always
problem.
appreciate it. Next time we have the podcast, it could be literally anyone except Kyle, but that's who it is. It's not Kyle. So take that, buddy. Well, we'll see you guys next time. And, quick shout out. When's MetaShift? February 14th to 16th.
February 14th to 16th.
Register. Get on it. And I might go.
Yeah, I'll be your date.
Yeah? It's on
Not
February.
your date.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
general Twitch chats date.
Oh, yeah. We'll be... Yeah, I'll kiss you. Because
But I
it's
can
on...
be your date too.
It's on Valentine's. I'm a wanted guy.
Look at me twirling the cord.
I'm gonna be making out with literally anybody. So you might feel uncomfortable, but if you're comfortable with that open relationship, we'll do it. But I'll be the first guest not to say, but what is this segment?
I didn't say that.
Yeah, Jaws is now superior in every way
Mm-hmm.
than all of my guests so far. Anyways, have a safe trip home, everybody. I know you've come a long way just to listen to our podcast. The trip from your computer to your bed might be a long one, so keep it
Good luck.
tight. All right. See you later.